Take the journey into the unknown with SNX Radio as we delve into the enigmatic world of UFO sightings and extraterrestrial abductions. Join us for conversations with leading experts and individuals who have encountered these otherworldly beings, uncovering secrets about their experiences, contact stories, and the profound implications for humanity. Listen as we reveal the incredible narratives of those who have undergone alien abductions, shedding light on the psychological and spiritual impacts of these encounters. Explore the depths of consciousness and spirituality as we discuss how these experiences may connect us to something greater beyond our understanding.
Met you on the back row. Phone screen glow, slow motion halo. You say hit that follow. Next thing, we're flying over cargo. Swipe up, then we lift off. Both feet leaving this floor. Highway like a kick drum. You said you're ready for more.
Together we explore it, night after night. Secure, truth, crime, disclosure, non-stop. SNX crew, lead the way. Different views, here to stay. James Gilliland orbs, peaceful contact shine. East City skies where the UFOs align. Daryl W. Sims, implants cross the line. Alien hunter evidence, truth redefined. Stephen Love, Phenomena connections burning bright. Seth Free Love, small town monsters, legends ignite. David Spinks, energy, holding deep. Vibrations rising, awakening from sleep. Truth drive. SNX crew, BMR pirates.
Lights in the sky, tracks in the mud, are you ready? Stomp if you believe. Out in the pines where the signals break through, Coley on the mic calling out to you. UFOs hover, ETs in the glow, disclosures knocking, time to let it show. S and X waves crashing through the dark, high strangeness rising, igniting the spark. Hear that whoop, feel it shake. Bigfoot's close, no time to fake. Stomp your feet, clap your hands, watching saucers across the lands. Holy hell, that fool, BMR in the fight, chasing shadows through the night. From Michigan trails to the cosmic stream, we're breaking open the hidden dream. Stomp, clap, believe it loud, high strangeness rising from the crowd.
Deep in the woods, eyes glowing red. BMR step where the legends tread. Vocal thunder, snort in the ear. Sasquatch standing crystal clear. Books of encounters, tales so raw. March with the bizarre, breaking every law. Breaking every law.
Feel the ground shake, hear the call. Cryptids walking, standing tall. Stomp your feet, clap your hands. Watching saucers across the lands. Holy UFO, BMR in the fight, chasing shadows through the night. From Michigan trails to the cosmic stream, we're breaking open the hidden dream. Stomp, clap, believe it loud, high strangeness rising from the crowd. Interdimensional, they cross the veil, no conventional. Bigfoot, Michigan, raw, Coley on the edge, together we're tearing on the stem. Take the journey, never back down. Truth's coming, shake the town. Stomp your feet, clap your hands. Watching saucers, take your stand. Coley UFO, BMR unite. High strangeness burning bright. Stomp, clap, shout it out. Disclosures here, no doubt. Clap, shout it out. Disclosures here, no doubt. The unknown's calling. Answer the roar. Answer the roar. Answer the roar.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, also known as Coley UFO, but we also have the Pirates. So, Rob, do you want to tell everybody who you are, what you do? Oh, he's muted.
What?
You have to unmute yourself.
I am not I'm not muted, am I?
No, not anymore. You're good.
Yeah, hey, introduce myself. I'm BMR, Bigfoot Mr. Yeah,
It
look
sounds silly to say, I know.
hey, listen, I'm looking forward to part 2 of our collaboration we've been doing. A lot of people said, Rob, you look different. Well, yes, because we're streaming on SNX Radio and BMR. And I don't know about Richie B as well, I think. I'm not sure, but regardless, yes.
Oh,
Part
probably
2 of
because
our
the
collab.
background looks
Huh?
different. Do they not like the background, maybe?
No,
Like
they
it's
thought that
different
my people thought I was you. Yeah, strange, oddly enough.
than- Okay.
Yeah.
I-
No, because I said we're streaming on both channels.
Oh, I got
So
you.
people on BMR channel saw Coley, but they should know by now that we've done this about 5 times now our little
That's funny
collaboration.
though. See, maybe like other people who haven't, that they might not
Well, yeah,
know.
there's a lot of
So
well, I think this is about our 4th collab, right? 4th or 5th? I don't know. They
yeah,
all
I'm
been
seeing
very
more
good.
people in here, like on your
Yeah.
end and on on my end. So no, that's definitely cool. And I think it brings, because I tend to get a lot of the UFO people, and it's
Yeah.
all along the same, it all borders the same lines is the way I look
It
at it.
does. This nice melding of all the genre, all the phenomena, because to me, they're all connected anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm huge paranormal, like huge
Oh,
into
yeah.
paranormal.
Paranormal. I like it all. It all comes together. It all comes.
Yes.
It really does.
That's the $1,000,000 question of where. But
Where?
yeah, where. And first, I won't even go into what happened because I'll let you do the introduction after we just look through chat really quickly, Rob, and say hi
Yeah.
to Moon at Noon. Even though I've got no, what do you say, no jive with this, like no
Well, it's a lot to do. You're better than I.
No, I'm joking.
I'll start from the bottom. You start from the top.
No. Yeah, you start there. That works out good. That works out good. You had an impression of me one day. It was pretty funny. Gary, nice to see you. Welcome back, Blazer. Blazer, the wrench, and between you and Gary, you guys are like, you got all ends covered. Thank you so much for all you do. Be kind. Rob, do you have any at the bottom?
Banter with Richie B. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Mickey G. May 77 Abel.
Oh, that's Paul, my buddy Paul. We have the same birthday.
Hi, Paul. My
He's
vlog,
family.
Sunny does a great job as a moderator. Matthew Brown, no, not Brown, but DW Worm or D. I can't read, as you know. I'm kind of, I can't see the chat too well. Kitty, Caddywhack, Kelly Partner, Prater,
Oh,
Flock of Seagulls, Kurt W, JoJo. That's
hey,
not Flock
Kurt.
of Seagulls. That's Sequel Flow. Yes.
You BMR'd a couple of them
Yeah.
so far.
Sandy Stones. Yeah. A lot of great people in here.
A
A lot of great
It
people.
is. It
Highest
is.
Starfire. Pops, of course, as always. Hey, Be Kind. Great to see Be Kind. She's been with me a long time and haven't seen her in a
Sam's
minute. Thanks
Paranormal.
for coming on, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Roger
want to.
Blair. Yeah. A lot of great people.
Yes, yes. So if we missed you, Rob he's really sorry. He can't see conveniently. So Rob, do you want to go into a little bit about who our guests are? Because for some reason, when I got on, mine was like completely, the bios were deleted, like gone, and I had it all done. So
Well, I have to wing it because I don't have their bio, but I can do a very good job if you like.
yeah, I know you can. I know you can. So take it away.
You're going to bring them up? You have the
Oh,
controls.
you. Well, okay, sorry. So you just want me to pop them on stage here real quick? I thought I usually do that, and then I bring them on stage. You're like, when are you gonna bring them on? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
well,
saying?
yeah, I don't know how to bring them on. I can't do from here. Hey, the
Oh,
Super Cat's open. Thanks to Moon and Noon. Arr.
Oh, now I know how to do it. Now I know how to do an intro. We've been doing it wrong all this time, Wojo.
Hey, that was on hell of an intro.
Rob's like, yeah, just throw them up. They tell you their own bio.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I don't read anybody's bio. I let them talk about themselves. I will say, though, this is our second. This is part 2 of the series that we started last Sunday, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt like the student.
Yes.
For that one, because you guys had some great slideshow that you provided. And yeah, so this is the collaboration. We're gonna finish it up here today. I thought it was outstanding, like what you guys do, like you work. I've been following you guys for a while.
Thank you.
Ever since I found out through Coley. So yeah. So again, I don't read
and I
bios.
found out through Kurt and Benno.
Yeah, well, see how that works. We find out through everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Vlog Sunny.
So I do know you're. I know one of you is from Boston.
Oh, we are both from Boston.
Well,
yeah,
good. That's fine.
Yeah, born and raised, South Shore.
So why don't you guys introduce yourselves to the chat room once again. You know how this rolls. You got to do this every time you do a podcast.
I know how it works. Wojo, you're up first. You got a beautiful bandana on tonight, Wojo. That's a different look for you. What the hell are we doing? That's Coley.
I got muted.
It got muted.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
We do.
We can. Now it's all you, it looks like.
Oh, I guess it's all me. You guys can hear me good because it just said
I thought he was
just
doing his
muted.
introduction.
I don't know how to
Well,
control, I can't control the screen, Coley. That's all I'm saying. There you go.
Well, thank you for having me on here, guys. I really appreciate it. And yes, I am awake, so I didn't
That's a
take a
good
nap
start.
this time. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What are you?
All right, because
I think it's the thing. I think it's the thing on your head, squeezing your temples a little too tight. All right.
oh, I was doing this for Rob. I got a cigar. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna take
Things
that
that
off. And
people do for
there we
good old,
go.
the things
All
that
right, I
people
feel-
do for good old BMR. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're the man. Yeah. My name's the Wojo, and I've known Richie for like 25 years, and I was played softball with Richie on and off. But I noticed he had a podcast that he had, and I gave him a call. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Well, I got Bigfoot in my backyard, and I was like, BS. And he goes, no, I really do. And then, and so fast forward, I was kind of like taken back what he's saying. He calls me back the next day. He's like, hey, listen, I'm doing an investigation. Do you want to come? And that's when I went on the investigation. I've been with him ever since. I've been an avid hunter. I'm an outdoorsman, and I just love being out there. And I thought it was a good opportunity because it's been a while. Because my father passed away. I haven't been hunting since. And I thought it was a good moment to go back out with Richie and see what's going on in these woods. And after a while, as time progressed till now, I mean, things are weird, and here I am. And I became a co-host of his show, Banter with Richie B Podcast Network. And now I have my own podcast called Home of the Boom. Boom, by the way. And,
like a true Bostonian.
Yeah. But it's great to to meet everybody here, and thank you for all for your support also. And it's a pleasure being on your show.
Well, it is a pleasure, and it was a pleasure meeting you for the first time last Sunday, I think it was. So yeah, thank you for that. And of course, Bigfoot Banter with Richie B. Richie, what's happening, brother?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Good to meet everybody out there. I know most of you now on the side. They've actually been coming over and watching some of our lives and some of our podcasts, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much, Coley and BMR, man. We're looking forward to being here again. Wow, I never get invited back. Never mind invited in the first place. So it's definitely not a family event, I could tell you. Yeah, we're having a cook.
Might all fall in line there.
Yeah. They're like, wow, that cookout last week was awesome, wasn't it? I'm like, wait, what? I don't know. So yeah, years ago, I own a home. I bought a home in 2002 in what's called the Bridgewater Triangle in southeastern Massachusetts. You can Google it. The Bridgewater Triangle is very famous and or infamous. It depends on how you're looking at things. And I started hearing crashing, crunching, and breaking in my backyard. And I said, what the hell? And I own 3 acres. It dog legs a 94-acre conservation area. And then there's a major waterway about a mile out. And I was hearing all these weird, strange noises, man. And it just didn't sound right. And then, one day I remember it hit me. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like something's walking. Like it wasn't like 4 legs, I was like, wait. So, but it was daytime. So, you can get in there, but it bottlenecks. So you got to know where you are. You got to live along, you have to abut it kind of to understand these woods. It's not just a place, right? So it was kind of weird. And then, it happened around 10 p.m. at night. I was sitting by the fire and I hear this crunch, snap, break. Something's walking around out there. Now I'm looking for headlamps and, flashlights, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And there wasn't any. And I remember standing there and hearing it move. And I the first time I was like, kind of like, hey, I said something, it stopped. I was like, okay, wait. It kind of, reacted to what I said kind of thing, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go inside. You know what I mean? It was 10 at night. It was dark out. I'm like, so I said, I want to go inside. So I went inside and I swear I was up to like 3 a.m, like like visualizing every little noise I heard, every little crunch, snap, break, like what could be out there. And then it just kind of catapulted from there. There was just more and more activity. I'd go out there, I'd hear a tree knock, and one day I heard, that sound I really never had heard before was like a whoop, which is very basic to me now. And it was kind of like a whoop like that. And I was like, what the hell, and you know, that's when I started be kind of like looking into shows and trying to learn different things. You know, I'm thinking, you know, Bigfoot, the Bridgewater Triangle. There is a report from the great Joe DeAndre back in 1978, and you know, he was the catalyst for Bigfoot in this area and took a lot of hate, a lot of ridicule, and he just kept going. He still tells the same exact story. He's been on my show, and he's an awesome dude, you know. And then the big event for me came just to, you know, make a long story even longer. You know, I was out there one day, it was like in the afternoon, like 2-ish. I don't know. It was really beautiful, crystal clear day, no wind, no nothing. And I'm raking around that same fire pit, and there's a game trail that opens up, and I hear this big loud, just one pull, man. It wasn't like a creaking or nothing. It was just like that. And I look to the sound like this, and then something catches my eye. I look up, and there's this beautiful, fresh, like oak tree or something, elm tree. I don't know, solid wood. It wasn't pine. And it's coming ripping down at 40 miles an hour. Boom. And I'm just kind of standing there like this, like holding my rake. And I just kind of was like, all right, what's going on? This is after a bunch of different events. Like I said, I kind of sped the story up, and I went over to the fence. I had my camera out and my phone, and I'm like, all right, come on, where you at? You know, and there was this thicket like 12 feet tall. You can't really see beyond it. And they were sticks. So it was like past fall, it was like towards winter. And all of a sudden I just hear, come through the thicket. So what in the hell was that? And then I kind of freaked out, you know, and I got that stupid man gene. I'm like, hey, what, you know, I'll respect you. You respect me, you know, and I'm talking to it now, you know, whatever you are, bro. You know what I mean? And
establishing boundaries.
Yeah, kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, you know, and then I realized what, like I say, one key thing is I was raised by my mom, and women live longer than men. And I started backing up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to survive. I can't see it. It sounds like it can see me. And I backed up, and I called my buddy down in South Carolina, and he's a preacher down there. And I said, hey, dude, I said, I'm going to send you a video. I want you to listen to this. He goes, why? What's going on in your backyard now? Because he was kind of the only one that knew about it. And yeah, he heard it too. And then years later, we actually pulled up more video with more technology on the phones. And we have a nice black, I think I showed it on your show, that black silhouette with the conical head and the shoulders kind of standing there on the other side of that thicket. And it just kind of put the whole story together for me. And that was 6 years after that story. So that's, I think, the moment where I became a researcher, you know, and everything was about researching. And I started looking for people that could help me, and I started a gift and stump. And now I've started this beautiful community where I have an amazing bunch of people that join me on the lives on YouTube. And Wojo was one of them to join me on the podcast. And, you know, I had to really dig down deep in my soul and see if I wanted to give up half of my show to somebody. And it had to be the right person. And 100% heaven sent, dude. He's like Wojo says, but I'm going to say to Wojo, he's a gift. And he's been absolutely monumental in the research and the podcast. And we make a great team, man. Absolutely. I love it. I love how we bounce things off each other, you know. And
you threatened me. Who are you kidding? You just
well, whatever. We don't have to talk about that stuff here, okay, sir? Wrong podcast.
You know, it is great to have somebody you can find help co-host the show. But doing it by yourself for a while, like Coley does a lot by herself. Now she's got Maya with her, and she's got Rodney. Is it now too?
Rodney
as well?
Back on Wednesdays. Yeah, he'll do the UFO ones, and then Maya's doing Mystical Monday. So which is awesome.
Okay, so a lot of people don't realize, you know, you just don't get behind a mic and talk. You know, I did it solo for a while, and now I have great co-hosts on my 3 shows. And now, you know, we're doing these collaborations with Coley. But boy, when you have somebody that you can trust as a co-host that can, you know, help you out, because you got to run the chat, you got to read the chat, try to be respectful to everybody, listen to a guest. You have to try to listen to all these things, so you're thinking of questions. And I got to tell you, a lot of guys can do it solo. They do magnificent jobs, but you know, I like to work smarter and not harder.
Yes.
So when you got somebody that's like your right hand that thinks the way you do, it makes it so much easier. And frankly, you guys puts out better and more quality shows. So I'm glad you guys found the collaboration together, you know, to do that, you know.
Yeah, it helps, right, Wood? I mean, it's been unbelievable bouncing ideas.
It's a blessing. I mean, some great people on here, very good critical thinkers.
Amazing.
You know, for our journey, it's everyone else's journey along with us, and and you and everybody, and it's just been fantastic, and that's why we do our lives, and we just have this discussion. As long as we don't crap on each other, we're just here to have this dialogue on what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and things like that. So that's what makes things organic and unique.
Yeah.
I think of it as your testimony also. And it's a lot of it, like, even the UFO, it might be paranormal, whatever. Once you encounter something at this level, you never leave that point the same. It's like people become like obsessed. I had my own obsession with like ET and trying to figure out the answers and being out there and like, but it took me to where I am today. So it's crazy how the intercourse of like such a phenomenon can completely change your life.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it changes everybody's lives when you come across the things that are not supposed to be, present or exist, right? And then it happens, boom, and then changes your whole life.
It does. Do you find though that the ones that get this type of interaction and stuff has something like that happen their whole life, so to speak? Like, for instance, when I was a kid, I was 7 or 8 years old. There was a woman in my bedroom, and she knew my name. And I was like, rubbing my eyes and stuff. Yeah. And I get up and I ran around her, and I went to my mom and said, "Mom, there's a lady in my room. There's a lady in my room." And she, okay, blah, blah, blah. Little boy having a nightmare, puts me back to bed, whatever. Next night, that lady was there again, standing in the same spot. And she goes, Richard, everything's going to be okay. And I ran past her again. And I went over to my mom. I said, that lady's back in my room. Well, it happened for the third night. And this time she was over by my bed. She sat on my bed. I could feel the mattress go down. She rubs my head and says, everything's going to be okay. And my mother had told me if I was afraid, just tell her, I'm afraid of you. I'm afraid of you. I yell. And I just ran. And I said, my mother goes, all right, what does she look like? And I said, she's a little lady. She has like a bun in her hair. She has a brooch with some ruffles, and she limps, and she's wearing this black blazer. I didn't know what a blazer was, but it was like a jacket, Ma.
Sure.
Like it was like polyester, like whatever shiny dress. I said, and my mother's face just hit the ground, and I said, what? And she ran to the phone, and my parents were divorced. She called my father and says, Richie just described your mother to me to a T, right down to her limp and what she was buried in. And my grandmother, my Nana Walker, died when my father was 13 years old. And her rocket chair sits right here in my studio. Her baby's kid rocket chair sits in my podcast studio. But my point is, do you find that a lot of people that have those things happen to them have other things happen? Like I called my brother and told him about Bigfoot, and he goes, yeah, what? And I'm like, what, dude, what? And he's like,
absolutely,
bro.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I'm not surprised, man. Your life's crazy. Do you find that happen to a lot of people like that? It seems like it.
Yeah, it's criteria.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Go ahead. Continue, Coley.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I was just going to say that, like, any of the stuff that I don't know, I grew up seeing spirits, and then all of a sudden, like in 2017, it turned to ET. Like, we're in tune. There's like even more coincidences than that. If you start to look at, and I spent a long time in my research, looking into commonalities between us. And I found some very distinctive ones among the ET. So I'm assuming that extends into your community also. You guys should start to make note of some of those things. So I'm always looking for information on that way, but I absolutely, without a doubt. What do you think, Rob?
I agree with you, and Richie as well. Wojo, when I first grew up, you guys, I mean, okay, first of all, I was always brought up on monsters from my dad. The black and whites, Lon Chaney, the Wolfman, Bela Lugosi, Dracula, Boris Karloff, Frankenstein monster. Okay, fine and dandy.
Those are the best.
And I was brought up on sports, so I'm a monster guy and a sports guy from the very beginning. But here's the thing, though. I think a lot of us come together and have a bond, whether I know you personally or not. It doesn't matter, because so many things I can elaborate on, and I'm not going to take up the whole show. I could do that on your show on the 28th.
That's right, Jim. We got BMR coming to the Bigfoot Banter with Richie B podcast.
Yeah,
February 28th.
But I will tell you a couple quick things. Much like you, Richie, when I first grew up between the age of 5 and 7, I saw a UFO. My mom showed it to me. Yeah, boom. It actually made the news. So, boom, check mark.
Right.
But then I started seeing ghosts in my bedroom between the ages of 5 and 8. I would see them weekly, and they would come from the wall. And it got to the point that every night I'd wake up crying and go in my mom and dad's bedroom crying, and my mom and dad would always tell me I was having nightmares.
Right.
And then it got to the point where I knew as a kid I was not dreaming.
Yeah.
One night I saw the ghost again, and now I'm getting toughened by this already, you guys. I've seen them all the time. I wasn't that crying baby no more. But I woke up my brother. Dude, Dave, do you see what I see? He's, no, Rob, what do you see? I said, it's a ghost, man. This is the one I've been telling mom and dad about. He saw nothing, you guys. And he started crying, of course, because I scared him. And that ghost followed me throughout my life. And I finally got rid of it when I was like 28 years old. And so that's another thing. And I know that today I did not realize this, but when I was a kid about 13 or 14, camping up north with my parents, we went for 3 straight years for about 7 days. And me and my brother shared a bedroom. And the back window was a huge window overlooked. You could see the moon. It always illuminate our bedroom almost like a nightlight would, right? And I never thought anything about this until you guys probably the year of 2018 or 19. And this was way back when I was like 12, 13. The big shadow person, and I don't mean shadow person, that's another story. A humanoid figure would always come by the window and peer in and block out the moon. And I remember looking back in my lifetime, it had shoulders, it had a conical head. And I didn't think at the time, I don't think Bigfoot or anything. I thought it was my dad playing a prank half the time because my dad was a prankster. So really, then I had the Bigfoot ordeal in 2018. But I think that looking back in life, my probably first glimpse of Bigfoot, or at least a shadow, was when I was 12 or 13. And I could go on and on and on about the things I've seen in my life, everything from ghosts, shadow people, to cryptids, this, that, and the other. But I think it hits us early on. And I don't believe we're marked by anything. I do not believe that. But I do believe that certain people have innate abilities and they can see inside of your soul or in your mind, if that makes sense or sounds corny. I don't think it does, because I thought it sounded corny back several years ago. And being what I do today, being more open-minded about it, it lets these things in, I do believe. And I think that it's not for everybody. I mean, I can predict things. I predicted a murderer in my school when I was 5. I said, this guy is going to be an evil man. And sure enough, when I graduated college, murdered his grandmother. And everyone thought I was a nut.
Right.
Until I was telling them he was evil. Rob, where'd you get that word evil? You're 6. I don't know where he came from. I know he is. And then guess what? He did in his grandma. And then people said, wow, Rob, wow. So I don't think it's a wow factor. People say I have certain gifts. I still to this day will say no, because that's just
I
who I
sense
am.
birth and death. I have the
You
death
know?
dream a month though, like in a month. Why is it? Richie down there is also a medium and can see. Wojo, I'm willing to put money on it that you have some sort of like spiritual ability that extends beyond human, like, normalcy. I put money on it.
Yep, I've been trying to tell him this, Coley. That's
Yeah,
why I told him in the woods, man. You got to meditate if they're on you, bro. And then he meditated and it worked. He was done.
Yes,
He wasn't.
yeah,
It
that
got
is
off
true.
him, and he was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's how we do." Good day.
Yeah, you get those certain instincts, and I don't know, like you get drawn to something, and you get that vibe, and that's where it just takes me. And I don't know, like well, when I was, I don't know, since we're talking about UFOs and things like that, real quick, when I was a truck driver, I used to work the 3rd shift. I see things like, you see a light, it gets lower and lower, and you're like, what is that? And it's not moving. And then you pull up to the side of the road real quick, and you look, and then all of a sudden, here comes another one, and then all of a sudden, they just shoot straight up, like with lightning speed. And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? And yet I'm almost like hitting a bridge. I'm sitting there driving, and it just like, what the hell do you just see? And there were times where you're driving, yeah, you're a little tired, I'm just driving around. All right, my exit's coming up. Next thing you know, I was 2 exits down. I passed it, but my eyes were wide open, and it's like, what just happened? And it just weird things, for the UFO side of things. And as for the Bigfoots, I mean, being out in these woods, you get drawn to the energy out there that I just can't explain. Maybe it's my faith that draws me to, protection and intuition of, I don't know. I know me and Richie have these, we had just had these conversations. Like, I think we should go over here or go over here. And I don't know. And you just hear like movements and things like that. I don't know. Just, I guess it's quick decisions, but I mean, to be psychic or anything, I don't know. I don't think I'm psychic. I just think
I don't really believe. Yeah, I don't think in that.
I'm just more of a vibe reader and take it from there.
Everybody is different. Everybody is different. And real quickly, though, before I'm sorry, I just want to thank Moon and Noon for the super cat open. Kurt W75, thank you so much. Kitty Catty Whack for the super sticker, thank you so much. And Moon at Noon again. This one was funny. Did I pull it up? Oh, the super cat is an ambushed predator. So that you had to laugh at that.
Yeah, the super cat indeed.
Super cat. So yes, thank you guys. I just wanted to throw that in there quick. But Rob, go ahead. Take it over.
No. Did
you forget what you were going to say?
No, I didn't forget what I was going to say. I'm just trying. No, you're fine. I think we all have abilities. I'm not going to say that we're psychics because I've talked to 1,000 psychics in my life. Some I believe in and some I do not, frankly, But I think all of us have that innate ability to sense things. It's just whether or not we open ourselves to enhancing it. We all have had that experience of a man looking on your back or a woman in the party store or at the 7-Eleven or at the gas station. You turn around, they're
to some degree.
To some degree. But I can tell people that I can walk up to people and start a conversation with a person at Walmart because I, for some reason, know that they've seen something. I don't know how I know that. And people have come up to me as well and done the same thing to me.
Yep.
It's weird. I cannot put my finger on it. It's nothing that I look to find. I will say this. I'll back that a little bit. I do today look for people to get stories from. I'm not scared to ask somebody, but I can get a pretty good idea by looking at you what you're all about. I owned a bar for 13 years. I never once looked at a resume. I had an interview, and I knew they would work or I knew they wouldn't. And every person that I went against my judgment and used their resume, I fired them. I went with me and my instincts. I can shake a person's hand and sum them up in 3 minutes. I kid you not. I don't know what that is. A lot of people can't do that. I'm not bragging, but I can. I don't know what it is.
This is where my point is that there's a spectrum where we lose people on it. We lose the normies at a certain part of the spectrum. And then we all have our areas that we like excel and exceed in that far out. Like I can literally manipulate. Like I used to take out street lights as a kid. I mean, that's not normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we all have like weird things that we can do that for whatever, reason, but we lose at that marker. I think we lose the majority of the people.
I just don't want to start calling you the fire starter. I'll just say.
Oh, yeah. I see it. I see it. Yeah. I see it. It's the fire starter.
That's probably what I'm referencing, right? Yeah, that's what you're great. That's what you do. If you can do that's fantastic. I know you told me that before, but it's something. Yeah, and you're right though. It's not something the normies can do. That's why I embrace the weird today. I don't care if someone calls me weird. I'm like, yeah, I am. I embrace it.
Yeah, do you think I want to be
bad
normal?
You're not weird.
It sucks to be you. Right?
Sucks to be you non-weirdo.
It's one of the first things I teach all my children, and when I say all, that's capital letters. 2 things. The first phrase they ever learn is Yankees yuck. All right. And the second and the second thing I teach them is you are my child. You are gonna be weird. People are gonna call you weird, but you tell them that weird is personality. Remember that. That is always your cover. You understand? And they get it. They all understand that because they all have big personalities, man. And I love it. I love to see that because it gives you the freedom in this world, not the be worried about things like ridicule or, how judgment or whatever it might be. Yeah, there's a time in your life where you go through as a teenager, as a kid, you go through those stages, right? There you go, Benno, get it. And
Thank you, Benno.
yeah, you worry about what everybody says, right? But then we're able to kind of just throw that away because we're okay with ourselves. And when you're kind of weird, you're kind of okay with yourself because you're a little, you're a little different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I embrace the weird 100%, like you said. It's
we're all built differently and weird, yeah.
Yeah,
We
weird's
wouldn't
good.
be here if we weren't. Like, I
Exactly.
can't remember who. I think it was Doc Skinner who said it the best. He's like, "We're all eccentric. This is how we're getting it out." He's like, "Don't you see?" Like, and I was like, but the bigger personalities, those are the people. I mean, I get it now. I guess I didn't always get it along the way, but I get it now.
I love you, Benno.
I love
Crikey.
Benno. He's the best. Dude.
Benno's
Give me
awesome.
more.
You're all awesome out there.
Oh, such a cool
He's a
dude.
gift.
He's great. He really is. He is excellent.
I snuck him in on my show one time. We were doing an in-house review, and I didn't let Wojo know, and all of a sudden he just comes in.
Can we play a portion of that towards the end? I didn't get to see it. I couldn't find it.
Which one? What are you talking about?
With not now, but at the end, I love when Benno came on the show with you and Wojo. I did think that this would be like perfect time to share with it. Everybody knows who Benno is. You know what I mean?
God,
clip like 5 minutes of it or something at the end. But I won't interrupt till then. But I would love to. I would love to see it. I would love.
I want to say something really quick, Coley, not to interrupt. Somebody already, the chat's been moving pretty quickly. I don't know who you were. I didn't recognize your name. I have a store under construction. You can just email me at my email. Yeah. So whoever you were, I think it's somebody named Jason or something.
The chat is moving really fast. I'm trying to keep up with it.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
You looking for some merch?
Yeah, he was looking for some merch.
Nice.
So I'll hook you up. I got some personalized BMR bandanas coming shortly.
Oh wow! There you go.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
A lot better than the one you got on your head right now.
Oh, way better.
Yeah, way better.
Oh, Dan, you don't like the Detroit Lions? You noticed that?
Yeah, you look like you're about to go for it on 4th down.
Hey, that's the line away, my man. You know, hey, man, at least you know enough about the Lions to say that. I appreciate that.
I don't know. I've always been a Lions fan because of Barry Sanders is one of my absolute favorite human beings ever, and not just an athlete, but if you ever want to watch a highlight reel and you're very young and you don't understand what a real running back is, you watch that dude. He run around you, through you, back up, go forwards.
Yeah.
He was I got goosebumps. I love that dude. And I was a running back in high school, and that's the guy I wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Unfortunately, I was more like an anvil and just ran into you because I like that.
Yeah,
shit.
right.
Yeah, I like to see the Lions just succeed. I mean,
well, Dan Campbell's
I think they have a great team, good coach. The only problem is about the coach, about Dan Campbell. It just takes too many unnecessary chances, and that's
I want to say thank you to my executive producer, the executive producer not only of the Banter Richie B podcast, but the Banter with Richie B podcast network. We got 4 amazing shows, and Sam is absolute amazing, man. She does all kinds of stuff, dude. Her digital creations are I'm telling you, man. If you guys digital creations, if you're not making your own, if you need one for your podcast, check out our girl Sam at Sam's Pretty Paranormal, man. She's amazing. And thank you for putting that up, Sam. We appreciate you. And thank you, Coley, as well. We do have some really kick-ass merch. It's a lot of fun. It's not a bandana or nothing, and I won't copy that. But I do have I do have Speedos with Bigfoot on them. So check them out. Call me.
Yeah, boy.
I
don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know how you can.
And yes, congratulations to the Seahawks. Well earned. Believe me. Well earned.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Dude, I said to you, that matchup was not good. We're going to get our butts kicked.
That kid Walker was just phenomenal.
Dude, I love watching him. He reminded me a lot of a mixture of Barry Sanders and Peyton, Walter Payton. He kind of had a little bit of when he stopped and almost walked in place waiting for his blockers, I was like, holy shit, it's his night.
His explosion of speed just killed us.
Dude, he was walking in place like this. He was walking. I was like, what is he doing? I love that dude. He was awesome. He's well-deserved MVP. Yeah, we're mostly good sports. Don't believe what everything you hear either. We got it. We know we didn't really belong there.
Right.
We're
We're
way
good
ahead
sports
of time.
people. We just hate the Yankees.
Yeah,
but anyways, back to you, Jim.
We Yankees. Oh, sorry. All right, enough about sports. Tell me something about Bigfoot. Coley, have you ever seen or had any Bigfoot experiences?
I have, but I have not seen. I'm not a Class A experiencer, but I've gotten close to the stick structures. I've gotten pictures of those in Iowa City and here, and one was pretty close to where he had been seen. I say he, like, that's excuse my ignorance when it comes to Bigfoot, but you know, with ET, like it's kind of like it's usually near native burial grounds. I'll just put it like that. So there was like, you know, I actually sent them to Wojo and showed him some of the stick structures and stuff.
Really?
I've smelled it.
That's real cute, Coley. Thanks. Appreciate that. That's real cute. Yep. Everybody loves Wojo. Yep. I know.
Yeah, she
Wojo.
sent me these pictures, and I was working. I meant to send it originally.
No, you don't
I
need to
forgot
explain.
to
That's fine. Yeah,
No, he asked me
sending
if I had
Wojo,
any pictures of it. Like he's definitely reached out and asked me if I was like, no, I've actually been out. And so, yeah, but that's,
what's that? You need me to do?
I'm no BMR. That's for sure.
Gotta go. Sorry. Dishes got to get done. Wow. What a tough crowd this is. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, what is that? That's not. What can I see? Can I see them? When can I see them? Who has them? I want to see them. Can I see them? Wojo. You can't send them to me because you're on your phone. Oh, that's terrible.
Yes,
wow.
I'm on my Android.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe Coley will send it. Rob, do you anybody on the side got these stick structures Coley's talking about? Apparently I don't. I don't get to see them. What's that?
Okay, I'll
today's
forward.
your first day
I'll
here and you
forward
got
them.
them? Oh, okay, yeah. The first day here, he's got them. Yeah, we're good. I'll get them from the first day guy.
They're on the way to you.
Yeah, and what you got to do is go, no offense, because that fixes everything. I don't know if you guys realize that. You could just flip somebody off and go, no offense, and then it fixes everything. Did you notice that in life? No offense. Hey, no offense. And then they say something offensive right after. Isn't that weird? It's like the most bizarre thing ever. No offense, but
is that what you're telling us we should say? Like, no offense?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It'll fix everything. It's a magic elixir.
No, it was no offense to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. I feel so much better. All right, I can breathe.
We can do the Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, no offense.
Hey, no offense here. Yeah, we do it.
Hey,
I feel so relaxed. Are you guys like my alpaca socks?
That's Richie. We can't
no
see them, Richie.
Hey, girl.
Oh, Rob, what do you think? Rob, you've lost control.
Rob's like anything, but don't. Rob's like, just don't pull out that big screen and put weird shit up for my audience again, please.
God, no.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we see in the woods, man. You guys popped in the other night with the live. You saw, I was
No,
trying to
we just
yell
wanted to get to know you. Like you sit down. Now I see it's probably harder with ADHD or whatever. But I get that too. I have to entertain myself at some moments. But yeah, we
all
wanted everybody
entertain
to get to know
ourselves.
you.
How long were you in the live the other night? Did you see any of the lights through the phone?
Yes.
No. Did anybody? Rob, you came in.
I did not.
You didn't stick around long enough.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there
You were
going,
there.
yeah, he was there. And then I don't think he stuck around long enough. And I'm sitting there going, Rob, Coley, are you seeing this? I need you guys to see this. You can hear me on the live saying it. It was like right after, dude. I'm telling you, within seconds. And the light was standing there. It was like bright light. And I go, okay. I went to go, okay, can you dim it? And as soon as I went, it went boom and pulled back. And then I go, oh, all right. Can you brighten it? And it goes boom and goes bright.
It reacted to your singing, even.
La 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 la.
Your Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, it was beautiful singing, guys.
So can you tell me what the light was? That's what I'll just ask. That's where I'm confused. I didn't know, like, does a light travel with Bigfoot, or what was the light that we were watching?
You have to watch the lives, Coley. I know you're very busy.
No, I do. And I ask questions, but no one will answer this question. And I just want to know.
What are the lights?
Yes.
What we believe the lights are is what we showed on your show last week. We believe that most of them are star people. We believe we also have self-illuminating eyes and things like that from the Satunga, which is, Bigfoot. So yeah, as crazy as it sounds,
makes more sense. No, it doesn't sound crazy. I was out looking for lights in the sky for 7 years. I was out there doing it. And when as soon as I encountered one UFO, like I was not going to stop there. And there was a peak of it. So I understand. That's why I kept saying I'm not going to say that's crazy at all. I'm going to say that makes more sense because I didn't know what the heck I was looking at. And I just assumed Bigfoot. But no, like this is, if that's where, don't, hey, I'm a UFO person. I understand nobody wants to be the crazy UFO lady or the crazy ET person, but you just outed yourself and you should be very proud because not much of the population gets to experience that.
Yeah, and I don't, and it's funny. This is what's funny about this. The ET conversation makes people more uncomfortable than talking about Bigfoot. And I know because I've talked about both, and I've had both on my show. And I've had somebody who's a friend of mine who's been an abductee his whole life. And I watched my show go from whatever viewers to like hardly anything. They were like, his story is crazy, but you could see how uncomfortable the discussion of the star people or ETs, make people for some reason. And it's funny because now we have the government saying, hey, guess what? We've been lying all this time. They're real. and nobody said that about Bigfoot yet, but we can all talk about Bigfoot and do our thing and be fine. But as soon as you bring up star people, man, it's like tiptoeing through the tulips. I don't understand why. And all I can say is we absolutely pounded this area for 2 years. Coming up in April will be 2 years, same spot, 1, 2, 3 times a week, whatever it is, constantly. We're just there today. We were just there Thursday. And we believe this has developed over time. We have, and we know Bigfoot's there. We have his prints and everything else. I got tons and tons of pictures of prints.
You build a relationship with them.
This is what's happening. And then I got into more of the mediumship. And I'm talking to other mediums, and they're telling me things, man. I'm like, what?
I don't think that ET and the crafts are the same thing. I do not think what we experience. I don't.
ETs
I don't think that.
Craft.
I think in seeing a craft and experiencing an encountered like an ET abduction.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that in some cases, like your government or whatever, but they don't go hand in hand.
So how does the abduction take place? So in other words, if you see a craft, you're not going to be abducted.
Slits of memory. You get slits of memory. It's like, so I'm not going to take up because this is be like a whole UFO hour, but I would, when I come on your show, I'll tell you my story. See, I won't, but it's very extensive. It started in 2017. I've experienced like 3 different kind. I mean, like I've had stuff analyzed by the top professionals in this field. And even Mufan, who I think snitched me out, but yeah. So, but I have all the receipts, I guess you'd say, right, Rob? Rob knows I screenshot everything.
I know. And here's the thing too. I want to answer I'll answer that one question you had earlier. Sitting on my side of things, doing this for a while, and I've been integrating UFO stuff into the shows, and I'm studying a lot more about it. And I've had people on that have had alien abduction experiences, several. I've talked to several people, but I find this, and you mentioned, you talk about the star people and people get all freaked out versus Bigfoot. Well, if I'm driving my Jeep down the road and I see a Bigfoot cross my path, yeah, I'm freaking out a little bit, but it's going on and doing its business. My Bigfoot encounters notwithstanding, of course, I'm not getting into that. And that's what a lot of these encounters are with Bigfoot. If you just go with just Bigfoot only. But a lot of people I talk to when it comes to the aliens, I don't care, alien greys, reptilians, insects. Let's go with the alien greys. People are terrified of being abducted, man. Yeah. Women are terrified of being, inseminated and being a carrier. You talk about these women that have star kids, hybrid children. On crass.
I've never had any type of that experience, but that seems to be a certain generation of people that they go through that.
And I talked to this woman, she was terrified, would not come on the show at all. I talked to her for like 5 hours. I talked to her. First, she was texting me, and I'm not a texter. I said, look, I'll call you. Then we called, and I'm like, okay, well, can we do a StreamYard link, and I get to see your face? And I got the vibe she was telling me the absolute truth. And this woman was crying. After about 3 hours in, she started crying to me about how she met her daughter, that she was inseminated from these aliens. And she described them as grays. And then she met what she thought to be her daughter at a restaurant. Beautiful woman. And here's the thing. She was told she would see her one day, and then she was brought up on this craft. What this lady told me, And on the craft, her daughter once again presented herself as, yes, this is me. I'm your child. I'm a star
Oh.
child.
Wow.
But this woman had all these UFO experiences from the age of 7 years old to the age of 33. Her 3 daughters left her because they thought they were nuts. Her husband left her because the husband thought his wife was nuts. The 3 daughters want nothing to do with her. She can't hold on to jobs. And she was tormented with these, and she had a combination of vivid dreams and always feeling she was in this cubicle being worked on by these creatures, aliens, whatever you want to call them. And then it was brought, and she was told that she had been taken, and she had a hybrid child. She had nodes on the back of her neck, 12 nodes that the aliens told her represented all her children. But the one that she met was the only one that survived.
Wow.
And they treated her like a piece of garbage. They discarded her. And then the hybrid child that she met later on the craft in the restaurant, but she disappeared, but met her on the craft, said, yes, I'm your child. We're done with you. Told her own hybrid mom, we're done with you. We have no use for you anymore. And they disregarded her. So I think when people hear those stories, that's hell a lot more scary than any Bigfoot crossing the road. You know what I mean? So I can see the terror in that.
Yeah, but it's so interesting. Like that, it's not interested in the point of entertaining. I would never take somebody's story like that and treat it like entertainment. That is horrifying.
No,
absolutely
it's not.
horrifying.
Yeah.
And I've heard that many times. But it's something that we need to discuss. We need to have these conversations. We need to start to get comfortable with these conversations, because what happens is everybody has their own corners. We go to our own corners as humans, especially in this day and age. We can no longer stand in the corners. We need to meet in the center of the ring and have a discussion, a respectful discussion. Like, you think about it on the side, right? I ask them all, do you guys believe in hybrid humans? Do you believe that humans are hybrids? Do you know what a hybrid is? Have those discuss. Are you a hybrid?
Mary Rodwell would be a really good one for that. She talks about the children that will be coming forward. I tell you, I've had like extensive research in this. I've got you would not believe how like far down and how deep I dug in all of this. It was crazy. It was one black project after another. And even some of the linking of things, and it's just crazy. And I'm the first one to say, do I think what I saw or what I experienced was exactly what it was? Absolutely not. No, I do not. I don't. And Daryl Sims, he came on, he really made a lot of sense. He's like, you got to think along these lines. And we really do. We have to be very cautious on what we are interacting with and what we are allowing in. But I guess, if they're so legit, then why aren't they picking you up in normal business hours type of deal, or make people like, oh, but there's all excuses for it. There is, but I still if this is all knowing and all powerful, I'm going to stick on the side that the crafts that I interacted with were far different than the beings. And they do not, I think in certain cases they overlap, but not in many, many, many cases.
I know we're talking Bigfoot, but I got a question for you, Cole. Then who if we're talking about a UFO from the galaxies, right? Is that your otherworldly UFOs that we're talking about?
Yeah. I call them off-world.
Off-world, I use that term. What? So that's commandeered by aliens, though, right?
I've seen crafts that look biological. I've seen crafts that are playful orbs, but they're I call them the spheres, but they're playful. They're playful. I've been out there before with them, and I was like, man, I remember saying out loud, there are a lot of you, because I was facing. I bet you there's anywhere between 80, 100. I mean, there was a lot. And I was to the point of where I saw the Night Creeper. That was my nickname for him. That's how often, when I say you build a relationship with them, you build a relationship with them. But it wasn't, and even though I had missing time along the way, never was I beamed up to it from a craft or up to a craft. If anything, I saw it didn't look like it. Except for the first one I saw was 50 foot in diameter, is 30 feet away, is measured by MUFON, only 15 feet above my head. But so many of the other ones look biological. I mean, they look I don't even know how to explain it. I've showed some of my pictures before.
Yeah, and I was one thing on the UFO things. I have talked to a few people in this, and this guy, it's so funny you bring that up. I talked to a guy 3 times that he says that the orbs that we see, you know how we always see an orb, whatever it is? He
Yep.
says that these orbs are made of plasma and they're actually a biological form. And he's telling me
Mm.
that they are piloted by aliens from the mothership that are researching all the different planets, whether it's Earth, Mars, whoever. But a lot of things we see are commandeered by aliens, and it's a biological, a plasma type form. And that's why it can contract and move 90 degrees in an instant, go 100 miles an hour in an instant, and stop and turn on a dime because it's very flexible. It's not made of any metal, but it's somebody that's out surveying the land. Now he was telling me this stuff, and then I went on and asked about, well, what does that really mean? Are they like little soldiers, that are sent down? Because one thing I don't get is UFO aliens, they know what our planet's all about. They know I feel if they want to take over our planet, they could. So I guess maybe they're looking for the resources. It's just, I know it's a Bigfoot show, but man, now you got me thinking, and we go all over the place anyways, but I thought that was interesting when you brought up the biological factor. And this guy told me this about 2 years ago, and I stored it away in my memory. And now it just resurfaced when you said that. It's very interesting.
Mm.
I do. I get full pictures, but even how they change and how they communicate with people. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, not by necessarily seeing one, I could feel them. Like, I had a connection with them. And I don't care. Like, I put the time in that relationship. I mean, I surveyed the same spot for 7 years, the same place. I knew every light. I knew if the light was off. I didn't care if it was like below zero. I took a space heater with me and went outside. That's how crazy. Now I'm like, I want to go out there. But so, I mean, it's just unbelievable because it's not just it's an experience that you have with that craft. But the ones that I remember are like tall grays, short grays, and then you hear things. And so I'm not going to I don't think that they're the same. Not from like, I don't know. I don't think you can trust something. Why would you trust something you could only remember seconds, like segments of time? And that's what happens is it throws your whole time and you have no clue, really.
Yeah, you can lose time. I mean, you could just like look at your watch, and next thing you know, it's like, 1 minute it's 12 o'clock, next thing it's 12:30. It's like, whoa, what just happened? Actually, Rob, let me ask you this: with your experiences, do you think Bigfoot is being controlled by the aliens?
I wouldn't go that far, no. I think I will tell you this, when it comes to Bigfoot, I think it's a flesh and blood, paranormal type of creature. But again, another story. I was talking to this guy, Ron Moorhead, he's into the quantum mechanics theory. And he was telling me, and Ron Moorhead told me, Rob, if you'd met me 30 years ago and if you brought up anything supernatural about Bigfoot, I would tell you, young man, turn around. I'll talk to you, when you grow up, type of thing. And then I had him on a show last year. And Ron Moorhead, who is one of the best researcher in Bigfoot that I mean, he's just been doing it for 30 years. He's the guy with the Sierra Sounds. You guys probably know who he is.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course you do. And he told me just not too long ago, he thinks that Bigfoot could very possibly be alien. I said, you just told me, he goes, yes, I know what I told you. I've been doing this for 40 years, son. There's something alien about him. Not all, but you got to remember, one Bigfoot isn't another Bigfoot. One Bigfoot could be alien. One Bigfoot could be paranormal. One could be a spirit from the First Nations. And one could be just an animal. I don't buy that they're 100% an animal. I think they're a mixture. I'm not in the aper camp. I'll say that. Because they can do too many things that a bobcat, a bear can't do. I'm sorry, they can't they travel so fast. They can cover terrain so fast. I also believe when they cloak that they're not cloaking. What they're doing is they're casting an image in our mind that suggests they're not even there. I was talking with that about
Like
Ron.
a
They're there.
screen memory? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
something.
about?
Yeah, they'll take your memory. The Bigfoot is standing in front of you. The reason you cannot see them is because they're putting that image that you're not looking at anything, but they're there. I mean, that's a weird theory, but I just came across that talking
like
with Ron not too long ago. Anything's a possibility, right?
Anything is possible, and people have to understand that. And if you can't grasp that, I just recommend find an area that you're drawn to and just pound it away. And be respectful, be kind, respect Mother Earth. Kind of go the indigenous people's way. It opens things up. Sage, tobacco. We do a blessing all the time at the gift and share. You know what I mean? And we do a blessing when we go in. We do sage when we go in. I kind of connect or meditate or whatever you want to call it, and it kind of can open things up. And you just have to have an open mind, and you got to be willing to try to do anything, and you got to be willing to put in the miles. Anybody can go through what we're all going through. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, maybe that first initial contact is because the light that you put off. That could be a possibility, right? But then after that, they kind of want to test your curiosity about them and what kind of, are you a critical thinker? Are you going to look into them? Are you going to believe in them? Stuff like that. So then you'll start getting more and more little bits by little bits. Because when you look at the beginning of my story, I heard a bipedal creature in my backyard. And then when I started thinking it was, obviously Bigfoot, because everybody knew who Bigfoot was, because that was the only thing I could put together. It wasn't a fish or cat. It wasn't a buck. I don't have bear. It wasn't bear. The biggest thing we have is a buck in our area. You know what I mean? It wasn't a possum or a raccoon or turkey. You know what I mean? So, I heard boof, 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 things crunching underneath it, but you could hear the pads hitting the ground and almost feel them. And we actually have recordings of them. And actually, we have recordings that'll blow Ron Moorhead's mind if you ever heard them, I mean, because his have been talked about so much, and ours are just crazy, crazy, crazy conversations and different sounds and clicks and decibels. But yeah, just have an open mind, try to study like different spiritual thoughts and thinkings and rituals. And like, people don't even know that. Do you know that the shape of a rectangle has a spiritual meaning? Did anybody know that? I didn't know that.
Yes,
I learned it.
Yeah,
I learned it.
Yeah, that's.
Think about it.
Isn't it part of the third eye?
Hey, bro, there's a whole thing about the rectangle, and these guys in our area build rectangles. There's rectangles all over. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, let me ask you guys this. When I was growing up, it was always the flying saucer. It was always a saucer turned upside down, a disc, right?
Yeah, right.
How come now in the last decade or 5 years it's all triangles and there's no longer a saucer?
That's a great question, bro.
I don't get that.
That's a great coley.
That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. No, I am too. And there's different experiences that you get. My grandmother saw one. She was the first one to see one, and it was interesting. She saw one in a place called Garnabillo, Iowa, and I remember she's like, it was raining out, or I would have gone over, and I would have and I was thinking, oh my God, Grandma, what are you doing? You would have gone over. It was hovering above the tree, but it looked like the Billy Meyer or like the Bob Lazar sports model, UFO, and then I'm like, okay, so you go there, and all these years later, and not just her, she saw it. She went to my grandpa. She's talked to a guy there about UFOs, and then he's like, oh, here, his name was Harry. She's like, I saw Joe Seal, da 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 da. And so what do they do afterwards? They tear it up. Now, Daryl Sims would say that's an app that we're destroying. We should destroy all evidence that, we go into some rebound mode. But why the heck? I've asked this before. Why the heck is this different places? That makes me very suspicious. If that makes any sense at all. How are we upgrading from, the Lazar sports model to what? I don't know. I don't have those questions.
Did their technology change like ours do with cars?
I don't know. Or is it the government that, hits us with that initial bang so you see it? I don't know, because they didn't get a lot of pictures back or video. They didn't have the technology. So maybe it was the way that they were seeing it too. I don't know.
Richie, man, I tell you, and I do believe in UFOs and aliens. Don't think I do believe, but that's a good point, because we've seen these flying saucers like I saw. And all of us in our era we grew up in, but now there are more advanced triangles with all these fancy lights on them. How do we know? I mean, just throwing this out there. Okay, we believe in UFO and aliens. How do we know they're not just government craft that have been advanced? We look at the stealth bomber, man. It looks like a damn triangle UFO.
Right.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Oh
Well,
yeah, I had one come down on the road. It came
What?
down on the road and it swarmed and shot off. It was a triangle. I have a picture and video of it that was analyzed. Has a bright yellow. They're not sometimes as big as what you think they are. Like they could be like the beach ball. I've talked to Paul and Chad about that too, because he's an experiencer out of Canada and he was kind of in one of my initial groups when I was like first going through all this. And we're like, yeah, no, sometimes it's like the size of a beach ball. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but how much of it are we seeing? I don't know if we're limited by our, our sight spectrums, but I don't know.
Yeah,
But I mean, shapes. When you talk about shapes, like a ball's a circle. I mean,
right.
That we find certain things that are like woven in the woods into a circle. Okay, and when you see things through Mother Nature, what we have, like the rectangles, the triangles, the X's, the A's. You have letters. You have shapes. I also look into feathers, rocks.
Yep.
And they all have spiritual meaning.
Yep.
You can just Google that. I mean, you'll find it all there.
Yeah.
And again, it goes through, Native American culture, and it's kind of like a teaching thing that we just kind of overlook.
Yep.
And that's why I wish I had my notes here just to kind of explain a few, but like a circle is like the circle of life.
Yeah, use your phone. Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, wow.
You're on that.
I know you.
Man.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of meanings of like in our woods, and it's a lot of spiritual meaning, and I think it's kind of that form of your belief, I guess, like, belief as of like, what your intentions are, your faith, things like that, and it just all coincides of what we're experiencing out in the woods.
Oh man, grow up, dude.
And possibly the sky.
Clown. Sorry, I hate trolls. And I don't know why they're on my channel. I'm the little guy. It's crazy.
Oh no, the little guy got beat up with some little troll. Yeah, I hate that too.
It's so aggravating. What were you raised by? Oh God. My mother would swoop down from heaven and slap me in the mouth. But no, you're right. And Wojo's been a catalyst for a lot of this stuff. And we'll go in and we'll read. We did it today, actually. We had Denny O doing it, a brother that we had a great I don't know why I'm vertical, man. Talk to StreamYard. I don't know. I guess they came in last time I was here and I wasn't vertical. I don't. StreamYard put me vertical. I didn't choose anything. It's just it must default to that if I don't choose landscape. I have no idea.
It should have. I noticed when you popped in on something that you have 2 streams going. Did you know that?
Oh, no, that's what I said to you before the show started. I literally.
You know what? I don't. No. I take that back. Rob's is one. You must have Facebook and YouTube going.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant YouTube. Yeah.
No, you don't have to. I apologize for that.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. What does vertical make the difference between landscape and us? I mean, scumbags like vertical. I don't get it.
No, it's like, okay, so if somebody, how they have like the shorts and they flip them and they're in that mode, people on cell phones that are flipping through. Like one time I had it on that mode and I didn't understand it was doing it to both of them. And there was like 1,000 like views
Trolls.
on the one. Yeah, no, people in there. Yeah, it was horrible. I was like, oh,
I don't know. I just clicked it in. I haven't used StreamYard in a long time. And before they didn't give you an option. It must have given me an option and I missed it. So I apologize.
Yeah, it's definitely a new option that they have.
Sam, have you been kicking them out? I mean, just kick them out if you guys don't mind, Sam. And I think D Hoot's here. D Hoot, get that trigger finger going. Sorry if I'm on vertical, whatever. I'll remember next time on StreamYard. I don't use StreamYard that often anymore. I used to, but but the shapes, I actually put a picture down bottom of the shape of the rectangle that we have. The different rectangles that we see in structures. I didn't number this 202.
Which one?
202-511. I didn't name them. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah, so this here is what we're talking about. And you know, people could say structures and people listen, we're not, this is a part of our research that we've thoroughly researched for many, many hundreds, maybe thousands of hours. It's not just a fly by night look at that, you know, trees landing there funny. So keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. So what happened is on the left side, you could see how the sticks go up and they meet the tree. So there's this rectangle. Well, this is after 2 years, you know, 2 years we've been in this particular location. And I had told this story a little bit before. And what it was on the right was built over by where we had this gifting chair. The gifting chair got invaded by a hunter. So he had his deer stand up here in the tree. You could see the gifting chair. So we went over to the gifting chair. I'm like, what is it? First of all, I was like, what is this guy doing here? He's way too close to the entrance, too. He couldn't have been in an illegal spot. We walk over. We didn't really notice this structure. It's on the right away. And it's never been there before because we've been at this gifting chair hundreds of times for a year and a half at that point, year and 3/4. So we go in and, you know, and we told a little bit about the cross, but long story short, there's a vertebra of like a deer, clean as a whistle, hanging in a tree, like 7-8 feet up. So we're like, what is that? You know? So we're kind of looking around. I'm like, we got to get this chair out of here. We have to get this chair out of here. We got to get it away from this guy. That spine must mean something, dude. So Wojo, sure enough, goes in, looks for spiritual, indigenous, all these different types of meanings of this animal carcass, piece of a carcass, and, you know, vertebra in the tree. So while he's doing that, I kind of go out and walking around. I'm a little frustrated. Well, I figure while he was doing that, I look over here and there's this structure on the right. Now, it was odd because it had never been there. It's right when you walk by, we would have seen it. We were just there a couple days prior. Well, I look around the tree, the one you see on the right. Yeah, right. No doubt. Yeah, I just don't want anybody seeing that nasty talk. It's not fair. So I apologize. But on the right side, that stick there was in the ground because I looked around and I could see the outlining of that tree that someone had picked up off the ground and leaned up against this archway. And we went through the whole list. We're like, why did hunters do that? Why would they do that? You know, it doesn't make any sense why they would do that. And I said, I don't care who did what. I got to get this chair out of here because I get that sense of loyalty. So we take the chair, we run to a certain place, a spot. We grab the spine. It's like I said before, it's funny. I have all this in my studio of all these shattered bones, and I didn't take it. I wanted it, but I had something tied to me, told me to like leave it there. So we went, we set up, we hung the spine, we come back, nothing's touched. The only thing that's touched is a cross that we had, and the cross was turned in this direction. And I had been talking about this particular location for a while, you know. I'm like, dude, I think, you know, it's almost time to move the chair. I think that peat moss would be a good spot, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, that's where the cross is pointing. We grab the chair, we grab the spine, and we head for that peat moss area. We set up the chair. We hang the spine in the tree. We do the gifted on the chair. We come back. Boom, they were there. They took the peanut butter, the zingers, and the spine was gone out of the tree, just gone. Never to be seen again. This was months and months ago. Never to be seen again. The spine is gone. As if to say, period, exclamation, you did it, boys. It's gone. I asked them to give it back, but they won't. So now the first day we didn't notice it. The second time we were there, I think it was a back-to-back because we were so excited. So we went right back and we're standing at the chair again, and they were there like overnight or something. It was really close in time. And everybody on the live is watching this stuff. You could see it. So Wojo and I kind of go to the back of this structure on the left. And this is at the new spot on the chair where the chair is now. The one on the right is the old spot for the chair. And Wojo looks up and goes, Richie, look up. And I look up and I went, oh my God. And he's kind of like, it's like the other one. And immediately out of my mouth goes, they wanted us to bring it to this spot, dude. That spot matches that structure over there that was made. This was almost like a natural that was manipulated. So these two spots, the one on the right, you can see is a different location than the one on the left. Matter of fact, the one on the left is way bigger. But that was there. We feel they were trying to tell us that was the spot. And by doing that, they drew this rectangle basically out of trees to match the rectangle structure. That's where the new chair is today. Mind-blowing communication. And everybody watched it on live. You can ask like Benno and Sam and Kurt, and everybody was there. Everybody partook in the conversation. They partook in the communication. Like, what do we do, guys? Well, I don't know. What do we do, guys? We're talking to the live, you know, and everybody, all these critical thinkers are coming back with ideas and thoughts and theories. And I'm telling you, it makes research so incredible, man. It makes it so incredible to open your world up to others. You got to open it. You got to deal with the trolls, right? But you have so many great people, critical thinkers that help us in each step that we take. Or we have this thought or theory and we throw it into the phone where all these critical thinkers are, and then they start picking it apart, or they start, you know, saying, you know what, you might be right. It's just a better way to research. Why not have 10,000 brains instead of just 2, right? Or with me and Wojo's case, like 1 1/4.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something, let me ask you, Richie, with the critical thinkers, I happen to think, now I think there's a place for them, but I think a lot of these critical thinkers are trolls. Meaning they try to look for everything. Hey, listen, I'm all for debunking. Everything I see, I try to debunk first.
Find a reasonable answer for it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And some
100%.
of these guys are just dead fast against, like as an example, I know this one guy who will take it to his grave. This guy he stopped being my friend. Okay, now if you want to me, I like doing shows because we all have different opinions. We all can collaborate on different ideas because that's how the community grows. That's how all this comes together. But I've got a guy that all he wants to do is discredit everything. This guy thinks that the Patterson Gimlin film is garbage.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a critical thinker.
But he claims to be, and it's the way he acts. And a lot of these people that see it, there's a channel called the Critical Thinkers, and all they are is a bunch of people discrediting people that do what we do.
Or the truth seekers. They're another batch.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Don't even get me started.
I'm not going to get into, I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but when I hear critical thinker, and I get what you're saying, Rich, I do, because I respect that. But
yeah, no doubt.
This group that I know, they're critical thinkers, and guess what? They're. I'm not going to say what I think.
Well, you know what? But people like that too. If they don't discover it, it's not real. That's the difference. You know what I mean? You can have different types of critical thinkers, right? Or you just have negative people, and water seeks its own level. So that's the way it is. And if they don't find it, they'll try to discredit anything else that they didn't find. And I've dealt with that in this research field. That that's a double bear print. It's like, how could you say that's a double bear print? There's not even anything in there that says it's a double. It's not even round or big. Nothing to do with a bear. What are you talking about? Right. But they'll say it because they didn't find it. And they want to flush you down the toilet and discredit you to the public and to others. But I say this, we all have our own minds. Don't listen. If someone says this guy's amazing, don't listen to him. If somebody says this guy sucks, don't listen to him. Don't look for yourself.
No, I agree with you. I don't listen to anybody except myself. You know,
I heard that about
people.
you.
I know what you're saying. But you know what
I mean, Bill, like there's certain people, you know what I mean? Like I would trust calling Rob and asking him something. Like I have before. I've tossed ideas off of him. Like, what do you think? You know, because you kind of have to keep it in check when you're doing stuff like this. I think anyway.
Well, you do. That's good. That's good. You do have to keep it in check. And like I say, I'm all for debunking everything I come across.
And that's our mentality. We really do. We're not. It's not a Bigfoot thing. You know, and I've encouraged Wojo when he first came out with me, man. I didn't tell him nothing. The dude was a hunter for many years. I let him see what he saw on his own. I wasn't like, you see this? Well, that's not natural. You see that? Explain how the wind did it. I didn't even talk to the dude. Didn't even talk to him. We went over 3 other people that had experienced research and would go over and discuss something.
Yeah.
And then he would come over on his own and make up his own damn mind. And that's how I do it with anybody that goes out with me. You can ask any one of them. We all have our own brains, man. You got to break into that. And if you could tap into somebody like you know, Benno's a good for instance. Benno came in, he was talking, and then all of a sudden he dropped this critical thinking bomb on me one day. I went, what the fuck was that?
Benno's smart.
Very smart. Very. And my
Very
whole audience
smart.
is like
Very smart.
very wicked smart. My whole audience is like that.
And he
Kirk W.
remembers everything.
Oh yeah. But
But also the key to BMR, you got to think outside the box on things.
Yeah, for
And-
sure you do.
Yeah.
Because like I always say, and I know, but if you don't think outside the box, okay, I mean, if you don't, you get 0% if you don't try it. But if you do think outside the box, you get 0.01%. You can attempt and try to get something out of something.
Or you get
No,
nothing.
you're
try
right,
it.
man. I have the biggest arguments and complaints and frustrations with people that wear blinders. They can't see peripherally. Straight ahead, that's all they know. They can't turn left, they can't turn right. They look straight ahead and nothing else. They're useless, in my opinion.
Right.
But hey, they are who they are. I'm not mad at them, but I
Right.
got nothing to offer you.
Right.
Right. And they'll just say to you, there's no such thing as Bigfoot.
Well,
Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's your opinion. But
Yeah.
I want you to tell me why Bigfoot does not exist. You tell me
Yeah,
why.
because
Give me
he
some
just-
examples.
Wojo, he just does, man. He just don't exist.
You'll get to a point, Wojo. You'll get to a point. I used to argue people. I'd be like, ET. Like I'd go in all prepared. Now I'm like, I don't care if you
I don't care.
believe it or not. Like I know what I saw and I know what I've experienced without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not. People all the time be like, oh, I want to. Then you got to go and find the answers for yourself. Like if I don't know how. I'm not going to debate all day long. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
So much
No,
of it is subjective.
yeah, subjective is a great word. Here's the other thing I quit doing too. It's the same thing we're all talking about. I was that guy for a couple of years that had to convince people that Bigfoot existed.
Yeah.
I quit doing that, man, a long time ago.
You know what was weird for me is I had 8 years of silence. I didn't feel any need to go running out telling nobody, man. I felt like it was a blessing. It was spiritual to me. It was like it was unbelievable. Like when I went out there to get my camera and I got flanked the first time, man, and I was scared to where I couldn't stop my knees from knocking. Grown ass man, 14-year-old homeless kid. I lived on the streets. I was hardened. You know what I mean? And I'm out in the woods going, like, what is that? That's real, man. That is real. I had to tell my left foot to back up. I remember looking down, going, move. Like I had to get my left. Once I got that left foot to go backwards, I could get out of there. I don't need to explain that to nobody. And it took me 8 years. And the loss of my son to be able to come out and do something that was therapeutic and come out here in the world and say, I don't care. This is what happened to me. It's a beautiful story. And I want to share it with the world. And I wanted to bring people into my community and our community. And I wanted people to be able to share peacefully and not get ridiculed and shit on and ripped apart. I don't care if you tell me Bigfoot's got 10 heads, man. We're going to have a conversation respectfully. Period. End of discussion.
Oh, yeah. I agree
There's no
with
need
that,
for
man.
anything, man. There's no need for that crap. Don't pull that crap. And on my channel, I got D-Hoot, man. She lives in Texas. Pew, pew. She just eliminates people like lightning. Gone. Right? I have to let him stay for a minute. Let him stay.
Yeah.
I want to paw with him. She don't let me.
No,
But yeah,
thank
how
God
can
for
you
some of
find
the
out?
mods. I tell you, they really hold it together. They definitely do.
Yeah, no,
You know-
D-Hoot's been amazing, and Sam and moderators that we have are absolutely killer, and they know what I'll put up with and what I don't want, and I don't want. The main thing I don't want is the meanness, the nastiness. If you want meanness and nastiness, go over to a politics channel. Go watch that. You can sit there and watch everybody shit on each other all day long. You don't need to come over here and talk about Bigfoot and give me a bad vibe. I'm in the woods looking for something. I don't need bad energy around me. You're trying to get me killed, man. It's no joke. This is serious stuff. This is serious stuff. Try going in there with a bad attitude. You're going to get what you put off, right?
I
always say
things about paranormal.
Yeah,
all
100%.
this stuff. I always say to people, look, mods or whoever, I don't care if a person in the chat room disagrees. Number one, don't be a jerk. Never disparage the guest. That's an absolute ban. And don't be toxic with fellow chatters. Because people don't come here for toxicity. They come here to learn and be entertained, right?
I love
Right.
that right there. Who's this guy? I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that right there, man. Bigfoot is possible, and the possibility is irrefutable. Burden of proof falls on the non-believers, just like religion, dude. Who are you, bro? I don't believe, but wouldn't he? And he don't believe on top of it, but wouldn't bet my life there is not a creature. What an absolute profound
Yeah,
statement.
no, I love that statement.
Kudos to you, bro.
Looney Shrooms. Good to see you.
I love it, man.
Yes, welcome. We
The
need
search sure is fun, bro. It's better
Yes.
it's better without pants. Let me tell you guys that. All right, gets a little weird, but it's a good time. Don't judge me. Sorry, Rob. You okay with that? Look at Rob just froze. Rob froze.
Did I? I didn't.
Yeah, you were like, oh, no pants. Oh, what am I doing on the 28th?
No, this is not even
No.
the first show I've been on that somebody has said this, and I always wonder, but then I'm just like, I don't wonder that
What?
much.
Okay.
Like, just moving on. No, but yeah, you're not the first person to tell me that on a show. I don't know if it's a thing when people are doing shows.
Is she talking about no pants in the woods?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Rob's just letting me dangle here.
No pants in the
uncomfortableness.
woods. Nobody should go out in the woods with no pants on.
All right, I'm sorry.
We don't like ticks and spiders.
I thought he was
Come
talking
on.
about doing the podcast.
Oh,
Like
like
right
right
now.
now?
Pants on? No.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and I was like, oh.
We're talking the woods. She's talking about the
No,
desk.
man. I wear. I'm fully clothed. I'm fully clothed from the bottom down when I do a podcast. I will say that I'm wearing like pajama bottoms or something, right?
Yeah, me too. You like sometimes, yeah.
Just like back in the days of the big COVID, back in the days when they had did you guys see those with the guys that doing the news broadcast? They had the suit tops on, and then they panned away and they caught them wearing their boxers.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude, really?
You gotta be an idiot.
God. At least know the camera angles. Nothing wrong with wearing the boxers. Hey, whatever. But be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's
Annabella.
like, oh no,
You don't want to get caught by the camera.
Annabella says, oh my God, I think you got a snack next to
But
you.
then
Like,
what happens is maybe they did it on purpose because there's a million hits on their Instagram or their TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, right. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, Insta famous.
yeah. Or infamous.
The infamous.
They might make fun of you. It depends. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? No, it's a running joke I have because I always thought that too. Where like the desk is here, the camera's there, like nobody even knows. And so I made a joke one time on my show, like, "Hey, I'm not wearing pants, by the way. Have a good night." And I signed off. Just to leave everybody thinking if I was wearing them. And then it became like a joke. It just became like a silly joke. And then it was funny. Yesterday, was it yesterday, day before? Some guy shit on me. He's like, "Oh, you can have a podcast where you talk about the possibility for the first 10 minutes, whether you're wearing pants or not." And I'm like, bro, what a lonely, miserable existence you have. What an absolute closed mind. Just beat it. It just blocked them. See you later. Like, so what a silly, whatever, dude. Like, why are you mad about that? Like, why are you mad about that? Like, why are you so upset about that? Like, why is Bigfoot so serious? Like, one guy says, "Oh, it's hard to take the thing, the research field serious." I'm like, why would you want to? What are you doing, dude? What are you going out there going, "Bigfoot, it's me. I'm very serious." Like, really? You got to be kind of like an Elmer Fudd. You know what I mean? You got to go out there and just be kind of oblivious and silly. Believe it or not, I hear they like that.
Yeah,
right?
no,
What
yeah.
do you like?
It's
What
your
do you
total
like?
frequency. It's your energy.
Right,
definitely.
right. What do you like? You're going to go to somebody that's drawn and happy and jumping around, kind of funny. Maybe not so obnoxious like me, but, a little less obnoxious than me would be good, But I can't help it. It's in my genes. Not that I'm wearing any. Anyway.
Where's the rules and regulations on like how to be like how do you act like a researcher out there? Like you can't have fun. Yeah.
Right. There's one thing you can't do. You have to have fun with you have to have fun in all this stuff.
Right.
Because, I wouldn't do this if I didn't have fun. Right?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Was it
I love William Nighthawk. You're a gift.
Oh, Nighthawk?
I just saw his comment.
I'm not wearing
I love Nighthawk.
I'm in my
buckskins.
Love you, bro.
Love you, man.
I'm so glad we
Great
met
to
him.
see you.
Yeah, we got to sit with him too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
They're all funny. We have but that's part of what we're talking about, right, guys? Like, go out and have fun, right? What's up, Bigfoot Fades? How you doing? Fades. Fades. Every time I see it, it's Fades to me.
Oh, it is phase, but I nicknamed her.
No, I saw that
She's
last show. I said,
BMR.
"Oh, maybe I've been saying it wrong," and then I went, "Oh no, that's his nickname." Gotcha.
Yeah.
I figured that out with you.
Is everybody?
When I secretly creep Rob when I'm watching, I don't comment. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't know you watched it. I found it. I don't know. Coley was telling me you've been watching me for several years, and I first time I met
No. This is not
Yeah,
Rob. Is
yeah.
Oh my
observing.
God,
Let me
really?
tell you all observing Rob.
Psycho.
No. This isn't the story.
Coley's,
This
wow.
is
Coley's,
not the
Coley says
story.
Richie B's been stalking you versus
No.
2019.
This is not the story.
You ever hear
Yeah,
the
that-
marathon?
We get a stalker in the room.
Yeah.
Rob says
all right.
to me,
You ever hear
Rob
the
says,
Boston?
Richie must have been in my chat for a very long time, but hasn't said anything because he started spewing off. And the only way he would know this is if he watched my show,
Right.
and you just confirmed it.
You know, I'm a guy that I don't like doing no, not here, but in general, I don't like doing appearances. I've been invited a lot, and I turned down, or not because I'm a pompous asshole with an ego problem. I don't like the spotlight. I don't want to go there and just talk about me. You know what I mean? Like I just never felt.
I
good
did not
with that.
notice that.
I know. That's what's crazy, right? Because once I sit down, I can't shut up. Sorry.
No, but
but it's just-
you did well in his chat. Like you knew things, like you know
Right.
that she, like, obviously you have a serious part of you, and
Right.
you know, so that Rob was just like I didn't, you know, he couldn't figure out how you knew.
Yeah, I
So
couldn't
I
figure
was
that.
like-
No, the one thing on a
I'm a
serious note,
researcher.
yeah, there
I'm
was
a
a few
researcher.
things that you said that I'm like, how the hell does this guy know that? He must be a follower.
Oh yeah, you got to shut that window over there in the kitchen. By the way, next to the wall.
Yeah.
Make sure that's locked. Make sure that's locked for now on. Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I said it.
If
Best
you
segue
know,
ever.
you know.
That was a segue to nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you guys. I don't think we ever got to this. I'd like to ask you guys. You started out earlier, Richie, about how you got into this, but either one of you, Wojo, Richie, and I know we kind of glossed over it, but in the early days, you think you came across anything outside of Bigfoot that you saw? It could be anything. Ghost, paranormal, UFO, anything where you're like growing up?
Paranormal, yeah, with my stuff. Yeah, I had paranormal my whole life, and I had a paranormal group for about 10 years. With my family, it was just family members. It was like sisters, brother-in-laws, you know, nieces, nephews, and we'd go to cemeteries to practice. We'd let the local police know that we were Atlantic Coast Paranormal, and we'd be in here. And it was right around before TAP started. Then they came out and kind of boosted that. But yeah, I lived on West Point for a couple of years, military, and there was like, you know, I'd be sitting out front of the porch smoking a butt, and there was this old hospital. I don't smoke anymore, by the way. I just do dip. But anyways, there's this old hospital across the street. Used to be an apartment building in West Point. Well, nobody would live there. They kept calling the MP saying that there's people breaking in. Well, the place was haunted as shit. It was a hospital. I mean, people died there for many, you know, a century or more. And I was sitting out front on the front stairs, and I'm sitting there, and I could see the hospital. It's completely black. No one lives there no more. All of a sudden, the lights start going off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on. And I'm like, what is happening over there? So I called the MPs, and I said, yo, man, I said, you know, that hospital over there, I don't know if there's kids in there playing around partying or something. I said, I don't think that's the case, but is that place like haunted? Because the lights are going crazy. So they came over. They wouldn't let me go in there, but they went and did a whole search of the whole place, like, you know, door to door, you know, guns out. Who knows what they were looking for? And they come out and they're like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And I was like, okay. And they go, well, it's said to be haunted. That's when they told me the story about people lived there and they moved out. And so that was pretty wild. So I kind of got my gear back on, and I would go to the cemeteries. I actually have this beautiful translucent, like orb, the biggest one I've ever seen. It looks like the moon. It's right next to General Custer's grave at West Point. And I was sitting there having a conversation with him and talking to him and try to get him to, you know, EVPs. And I got a ton of them out of that cemetery. And that orb in my picture was just the biggest orb I ever seen. So then I went across diagonally. I don't know. I got drawn to this grave, And I knew since I was a kid that I would be drawn to things, and I always called myself a sensitive. Just recently, I started getting more into mediumship because more mediums have been coming into my life, trying to help my path. So I'm over there at this flat stone on the ground, and I'm doing the flashlight technique, So I got the flashlight down, and I'm like, oh, it was a woman. So I said, I was asking her questions, and she was responding to me. My nephew was with me, and he's jumping back, and I'm like, no, it's okay. She's kind. So I'm talking to her, and I'm asking, I can't remember the exact questions. And also I look up, and there's two shadow silhouettes through the street lights are walking towards me. And all of a sudden the flashlight pops on. He goes, hey, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I live right over there. And I pull up my lanyard. Do you guys get a lanyard? You could go anywhere, by the way, just so you know. Just make up a lanyard and you can walk anywhere you want. You can just pull out your lanyard. I just made it at my house. And I'm like, yes, Atlantic Coast Paranormal, sir. And then the conversation calmed down. And he goes, who's turning the flashlight off and on? And I said, well, she is. And I point down at the stone, and he flashes his light on the stone. He sees this lady's name, and he goes, what do you mean? And I look down, and I go, ma'am, I'm in a little bit of trouble now. If you could just, let the gentleman know that I'm not crazy, that would be good. Boom, the flashlight comes on the stone, and the MPs jump back like this. Who did that? I go, she did that, bro. That's what I was trying to prove to you. But it was a wild experience. So, yeah, a lot of paranormal stuff in my life. A couple of UFOs, I believe, that I saw. I saw a square one time, speaking of that, UFOs. It was weird. It was pink, and it was above my house. It was absolutely weird. And we all playing kick the can, and the whole neighborhood saw it. And it kind of just was like, whoop, took off. And it was wild, but it was a square. And I never heard anybody discuss a square shape. And that's what I remembered as. And then a couple of years ago in Maine, after my son passed, we were gifted this beautiful cottage on the water by a very good friend of mine. And we were out there fishing, and we saw this one come across. It was pulsating, that pulsating like fireworks kind of coming off it type of thing. And it's like, whoa, like this. And then it would stop. And it goes like that. And then boom, like that. And me and my two oldest boys, David and Maddox, were looking up, and oh no, Jess was there too. That's right. The whole family was outside, and we were like, oh my God. So a bunch of them went in. They're like, no, I'm good. But there's that thing again, like we were talking about, that abduction feeling, right? So the next night we go out, it's just me and my two sons, and we're fishing, and it came back, and it comes back, and it's doing that pulsating thing, and it's going dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, and then it stopped, and then it did that little wiggle backwards like this, as if it was like, hey, there's those idiots again, and it kind of did that, and then all of a sudden when it shot off this time, it was like a shooting star or something came out of the back of it to the ground. And my oldest son, threw down the fishing rod on the metal dock. I'm out, Dad. See you later. Nope, not doing it. And he ran in the house. And I just sat there like, take me to the leader, I guess. I wasn't nervous about it at all, but I attribute that to a UFO experience. Not like I said, I didn't see the craft or the shape in that sense. It was a round, like pulsating light. It was wild, man. And to have it come back twice in a row was kind of weird. How about you, Wojo? You're a man of religion. I mean, how does that affect you in that sense?
No, it doesn't affect me in religion. I never really had any like paranormal or anything like that. My brothers have. They go on a lot of investigations, and my father's best friend. I've been in that house. It just feels weird. You get that weird vibe when you're in the house, but my brothers did an investigation in that house one time, and my father's friend, a refrigerator fell on him. It was just screwed up energy in that house. One time, the son's so like paranoid, he hates living in there. One time, he just felt like cold and what have you down like in the basement. And he had to get out of there. He was like washing clothes or something, and he gets out of there, shuts the door. All of a sudden, he hears these cans of spray paint. He's like, "What the hell is that?" He goes back down. The ghost's name's Gus, and he's got this big, huge picture with like fire. It was like unbelievable. Fire on the downstairs. The bricks and everything of the fireplace, and And that scared the ever-living crap out of him, and he just like took off. And I never get the chance to go out with my brothers on these investigations. I always work third shift. So I have a lame life. Sorry, guys. Until I met this character. And now, oh my God. I mean, we get everything. And when I mean everything, it's just you get the energy in the woods. I mean, I probably, aliens, Bigfoot, it's just it's beyond anything. So
Yep. And to speak and aliens too, like what we're dealing with now, we believe, like Coley, image 5015. Again, I didn't have time to label, I just popped them in just now while we were talking about aliens. And I don't mind the show being about anything. It's not just about Bigfoot, you know what I mean? So this is a picture of one of the lights that we saw, and Benno and Kurt and everybody were there, D-Hoot, Sam, whole squad, man. Everybody's watching, Big Andy. And this is one of the lights that we took a picture of. And that's what it looks like until you get home, until you brighten it up, until you start to lighten it. And then you start noticing things, right? You look on the right side, you see that little black circle with a little bit of a shine in it. You look and you can kind of follow an eye socket. You start looking at this and you go, oh my God. I call him Walnut Head. Because he has the lines up the middle of his head. You can see the line right up the middle of his head, and then it has that little squiggly worm thing that lights up again. It reminds me of that fish that sits at the bottom of the ocean and tries to trap other creatures to eat. But yeah, you got the two things that come off the side, almost like tubes, and then you go down the bottom, you see that bright glare. There's a circle glare in the middle. Right underneath that, there's a small row of teeth.
I saw the teeth. It looks like fangs on the
It's like a jawline.
Yeah, there's a fang on the left
bottom.
Yeah, bottom left, you could see there's you see there's one circle like it's falling, and someone said it's like it's taking a breath maybe, and it's just kind of the self-illumination's coming out on the spit. I don't know. But underneath that little droplet, there's a shiny droplet in the middle, Rob. Underneath that,
I see it.
It looks like a little row of teeth. And then
I see top and bottom.
And up top right, again, you could follow the orbital around on our right, his left. And there's a little black circle in the middle, and there's a shine spot. That's the key to me. That tells me that it's substance. That tells me that it's physical, right? Yeah, Kurt knows this picture very well. And you could tell that that little shine right there is everything. It's like when I hit you with a light, right? You get a little gleam. Well, he's doing that off his own light, because we're not using lights to take pictures of these things. This is just straight phone right there while we're live on YouTube. I'm over the shoulder of Wojo. I'm live on YouTube, and he's taking pictures with an Android. The only thing they're good for, pictures. Anyways, so then I lean over, and he zooms in, and then we get home, and then I clean it up and look at it. There's substance. So I'm not saying what it is behind it. I'm not trying to make you believe nothing. I'm saying live on YouTube, we took a picture of a light, and there's substance behind it. There's solid mass behind that light. Whatever you want to deem it is, have at it. But the point is, there's something putting off that light right at us 50 to 60 feet from us, period. Okay. And then one of the other lights, if you get the last picture I brought, image 7017.
I was going to tell you first before you move on. You know what I see immediately when I looked at that? There's a xenomorph.
What the hell? What is that? I got to look it up. How do you spell that?
XCNOMORPH.
Oh,
it's regardless. It's from the movie Alien.
Well, let's see it. Images of a xenomorph. Mojo?
Just the bottom jawline. It reminds me of that.
Oh, that's the
movie. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like it drops his jaw, and then the other, like
yeah.
Because we don't see the side view. The side view has that, but yeah, the jawline coming out.
No, just the front, the face. Straight
out. No, I got you. I call him Walnut Head because the line's in his head. But if you take that orbital again, I want to beat on this a little bit. The orbital section of the right side where the black light is, you go straight across. You can actually see the shape. It goes like a triangle here, like we do. We have our little triangle in our eyes by our nose. And it comes up here, and then it comes up into an ear, and then drops back down. There's ridge line in there. And if you follow that right across directly, you could tell he's just tilted just a little bit, and that it's lined right up with each other. Kind of looks like, and somebody said reptilian once, Looney, and I don't know. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know. But the next picture I have is an absolute zoom of one of these lights on a different light that we have. Not this light. This is a different, we weren't able to get what we got off the next one. So we took a picture of these lights, and then I zoomed way in on this thing and check it out. We're talking plasma earlier, right? Tell me what this looks like. 7017, you can pop it up, and we'll look at that. Now that's a light. That's a light in the woods. That's a light zoomed in the woods. And again, I can't edit nothing. I just go in, I cut. Everybody's seen this light, but look at it. This is what stands out to you with this light. It's a light in the woods, just like you just saw, but we were so close that we could zoom in. Look at the color, the green color. Like, the hell?
Well, yeah, I mean, the green reminded me of a snake.
Right? But look at the cracks. This is my point. Look at the cracks along the side of it. It's got cracking along the side of it, like something just stuck something to its head. Like, it was weird as shit. You know, it has a plasma type form. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This is a what the hell? Oh God, getting weird in here. Something just. I'm sorry. But yeah, it just looks like something was stuck to something's head. And the middle is where the light illumination is, where you see the lightest color white. That's the picture we're taking. We're not taking a picture of anything else. We can't see that. We can't see that till we get home. But I don't know what it is. I mean, it looks like something like it's plasma of some sort. And this is the type of stuff that we're getting standing in the woods with a phone. You know, maybe not going to get a 40-foot high five, you know, whatever from Bigfoot, you know, because you have that phone in your hand. But these guys don't seem to give a shit, whoever they are. They don't seem to, they almost come at you. You can hear me on the live saying, Wojo, why is it moving towards me, bro?
They will. They will.
But I mean,
they like me.
Look, the thing about
You're
the
communicating
lights,
with it.
I am. We are.
Somebody mentioned about the lights, like walking towards the lights. The thing is that we have, but the thing is about the lights. It seems like it's like 40 feet. And when you walk that 40 feet, believe it or not, it's more than 100 feet. And it's that light perception. And
well,
that's
they can
how
move.
bright it is.
We feel they can move them in and out.
They move sometimes low and slow, so you're not going to be able to get a video or an accurate, like you can't. It's impossible with UFOs too.
You know what was cool the other night, and you guys were there, and then I know we're all busy, you were in and out. But I think it was moments after I was talking to you guys. We had this one light, it had never done this behavior before. It was bright, man. It was so bright. It looked like the colors of the rainbow. It was just glaring into his phone. And then all of a sudden it goes, whoop. And it was just a small light set way back. And I go, whoa, did you just zoom in and out? And he goes, dude. And I look over and his hands are on the side of the phone like this. And I go, dude, your hands are on the side of the phone. You didn't do that. He goes, no, dude, I swear to God, I didn't do that. And all of a sudden, boom, the light comes bright again. So I went to go, hey, can you dim it again? And as soon as I got the duh out, boom, it went dim. So then I go, because, paranormal investigation, right? You're paranormal, so you do paranormal stuff. So I'm like, all right, can you make the light go brighter? On camera, on YouTube Live, I've clipped it. This thing comes in very bright, right at us, like this. Yeah. Boom, and it blows Wojo right off his camera. His camera, not online.
Kicked me out.
Not online.
Oh yeah.
His personal camera phone. Shut the camera. Next minute, I'm looking at a Georgia Bulldogs logo, which is silly in itself. But
no,
but I wasn't using video. I was using the photo.
It was just
setting.
a camera on his phone.
It doesn't matter. They'll sometimes scramble it. They'll drain your battery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was wild, man. And it was live, and it's an amazing clip. It's one of my favorites because it was intelligent communication. I love it. So yeah, our stuff is kind of nuts, and it is, people look at it like, it's crazy. But if you just come on the live and hang out with us, you'll watch us. We do episodes called Daytime, Dusk, and Darkness. So self-explanatory. We go out there in the day. You see us walking around. We look at different structures because we know the place like the back of our hands. We look for prints. We do all these things, and then all of a sudden, where it's dusk, right? Everything gets a little wild. You start hearing whoop, whoop. Like, and then the dogs across the way start barking, and then you all over here on this side, ooh, ooh, like that, something crazy, and then you hear this howling from this huge canine. You're like, what the hell's going on in this place? It goes nuts.
The howling just goes through you, man.
Right.
It sounds like a werewolf, but we don't have wolves in our area, and we don't live in a valley. We live in flat lands, and it just sounds so loud. And for where it's coming from, it just seems like about 500-600 yards away. It is just loud.
Yeah, it's wild. And then the lights start appearing through the woods, and they get brighter, and there's more of them. And that's when we start taking the pictures. And no, nothing's edited. It's just zoomed in. And Freaky said something. I don't know. I don't know if it's organic or not. It was giving off a light. If there's something out there in those particular woods, and it was up off the ground, it wasn't a picture of the ground. It was up here. So yeah, I think that's a fair question. Absolutely. I mean, I questioned it myself. Why shouldn't you? We welcome
They
any
tend
question.
to mimic. They do. You get a lot of the mimicking.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean, Bigfoot or alien?
I've noticed with Bigfoot. I mean,
Yeah.
like aliens, it's different encounters. Yeah, much different. But
Do they do a lot of speak, or is it just mind speak?
it's either it's more mind speak, or it's more like pictures that generate, like they'll
They're
send
going
pictures.
through your head. Okay, but no.
Yeah, like
nothing-
a lot of times it's not like they're not communicating in like English. It's more like they show you visually like
right.
different things. This is how I've experienced it.
Yes. Yeah, and freaking.
We've also been hearing a lot of clicking sounds too.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I got it. Didn't you guys listen to my recording last time? I thought I played that for you guys.
You did.
Yeah, it's absolutely out of this world, man. Literally, it's.
Yeah.
And you can hear the big go, and then it goes up into that high clicking, and then when it gets done with that high clicking, you hear.
What did it sound like? The high clicking? Oh, like a purr.
It's just it's the closest.
It'll come out soon. You know, the old.
It'll
It's
come
coming
out
out. It's
soon.
coming out in my documentary. You know how it goes.
Well, the one I heard like clicking noise on your
Yeah,
tongue.
there's a slow clicking, which is different.
Slow clicking.
This was when they reached a level of hype. It's like they could control it, and it was a form of language. It wasn't like they knew what they were saying to each other. You could hear 4 of them in this area by the gifting chair, just chilling out, and you could hear them opening the zinger wrappers and eating. And one of them, we believe, part of me even farted, and you could hear that. You could hear the stomachs gurgling. You could hear it all. And then they found the battery pack to my recorder. And then this conversation started. You hear something off in the background, kind of go, like that. And then the one off to the right says something in a lighter tone. We believe that's mom. And then the little dude, we believe it was a juvenile sitting on the log behind the gifting chair that saw the wire going into the battery pack on the ground. And you could hear him start rustling around the leaves. And then all of a sudden you hear the sniffing. He's sniffing the battery pack and whatever else he can find. And sure enough, the next day when we found it, the wire was almost ripped off. The battery pack was unburied, and they started arguing, and we have that on recording. And one day everybody's going to hear it. So it's going to shatter the world in the sense where we hear whoops, we hear the Ohio howls, we even hear what Ron Moorhead has, which is absolutely incredible. And he was communicating in a sense. This is how they communicate amongst each other. They're not going to sit, they're not going to sit there at the gifted chair and whoop in each other's faces. They're not going to do an Ohio howl while they're sitting there 10 feet. To think that they don't speak to each other, if you believe and or whatever, if you think they're not having, that's the second time I've heard them talk. The first time was, the first time was with a gentleman from the, that 4-letter word that came out to investigate my property, and he stood there with his mouth on the ground. So it's pretty wild stuff.
Well, yeah, Bigfoot, they're socialized, right? They have family units, right? They communicate all the time. They have their own. The things you hear in the background, the distance, the Ohio howl, and all these things, they're just roaring, and they're just putting it out there.
Letting you know.
Yeah, that's all.
From a distance.
We're out here and stay away because they don't want anything to do with us.
They love us. Maybe I can see that. They let us kind of know where they are sometimes
until they find out you're from Boston.
Boston. They're like,
Boston. Oh no, they're not these guys again.
Oh my God, I came all the way over here from Michigan, and I got to look at these Boston guys. This is bullshit.
No,
it's wild, and we have we reach out to people that are professionals and experts in each field. You know what I mean? Like we have a linguist that authenticated what he was hearing was guttural from a set of lungs through a trachea, and he attributed it to a deaf person trying to make noises. So we've used that when it's on record. And Wojo, you do your part, I'll do mine. You ready? Go.
What was your question?
You weren't even paying attention. I knew you weren't. You were looking at the damn friggin' war. You're looking at the side. So, anyways, we have on record. I knew I got him.
My bad.
On the recording, when we had the linguist validate that it was a type of language, What is your part that you heard?
Oh, the ha.
Right. So that was on there.
Yeah.
Right. So that was on there. And then afterwards it went blap, blap.
Blap, blap. Yeah.
And that's what we have on recording. And it was validated through, again, a linguist that says, he's not saying it's Bigfoot. Neither am I. It was a sound made by a set of lungs passing through a trachea, attributed to the sound a deaf person makes when they're trying to talk. And that's what we deal with. You know what I mean? So we don't just sit here presenting stuff because we think we're cool. We actually are researchers trying to find out answers. Imagine that. Pretty weird, you know? So,
but we also had a couple that heard the same exact.
That was right. The Springfield couple. Yeah, that was freaky shit.
Yeah, we were at the Colorado Critter Fest out in Western Mass to do speakership out there, and I was we have Cass and we're showing the peanut butter jazzy evidence and what have you, and this couple was explaining to me that they have a small little farm, and the woman's like, yeah, we hear them all the time. I go, you hear them all the time? She goes, yeah. She goes, I go, what do they sound like? She goes, I can't explain it. I go, really? Well, we have a recording that we just got through the linguist, and it goes like, ha, blah, blah. And she just goes and looks at the husband. The husband's sitting there smoking a cigarette, going like this, shaking his head. I go, is there a problem? He goes, I hear that fucking sound every night. I go, what? I go, I looked at Richie. Richie just looks at me. I'm pulling up my phone. I play it. I go, it sounds like this. And the woman just was shocked. She goes, that's exactly what we hear every night. I go, huh? Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. She goes,
so weird. It was so crazy.
Because Richie was ready to do a podcast right beside me. And he just looked. I go, holy shit, I mean, it
was cool,
but that's cool to hear other people's stories. I mean, to get that validation that other people are hearing that.
Well, it's the same thing with tonight. I brought up about the cube, and a bunch of people mentioned the cube. I didn't know that. I had no idea. And some, I believe it was Andrew was saying when I was talking about that UFO, and he responded, hey, he has a story about that. This is why you talk respectfully to one another, because we're actually doing research with you right now, collecting data. What's data? The collection of data is science, folks. What do you think a scientist does? He collects data. That's what he does. We're collecting data. So we just collected data right here live on this show and got a little further into the research. Imagine that. It's weird. Totally weird. And we did it respectfully. Nobody shit on each other. Well, there might have been a few shits in there. I don't know. Somebody was saying something about something.
We're like mad scientists.
Mad is the key operative word there. And I mean mad by crazy mad. But no, it's wild stuff. And I'd love you guys to watch some more of the lives. And I'd love everybody to like and subscribe to Bigfoot Banter, Richard B, and come out with us. Put in your headphones, put us on a big screen TV, and be a researcher. I actually had a podcast episode of the virtual researchers that we have. I had 5 or 6 of them come on. They virtually research. They're researchers as well. I used to do it through Alex Petticost's phone. When he was out there in the woods, I would look through his phone. That's all I wanted to do was look through his phone. I didn't care, or his camera. I didn't care what he was editing or not. I was still looking for things that he didn't see. I used that as an opportunity to research. That's where I got the idea to go live every time I'm out there. Whether it's grainy and shitty and Bigfoot Dwarf thinks I need Starlink or not. I'm not paying for that shit. I'm not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was like, dude, you need stuff. I had a hell of a time today with technology, and we felt there was things around us too. Technology, but yeah. Tansei Elda.
Tansei Elda. Elda, it's great to see you on here. Brian Bowden, he's got a question. Do you guys research on Route 7 in Great Barrington.
Oh,
Out in Western Mass, we've actually went out with the Vogel brothers out in October Mountain. It's probably about 40 minutes from Russell, Mass, more near Lee, Mass. And we went on an expedition with them. And then we stumbled across a set of tracks by this pond. And the pond receded, so it's like really muddy and everything. And couldn't believe like all the tracks that we saw. We saw approximately 2 to 3 different size tracks, and we found the best print. And the next day they came back and they came by with some plaster and casted it, and that's when we found our first footprint in our area, and we cast it. So it was like really cool. Every time we go out, those guys, we're always casting prints. It's unbelievable.
yeah, it's wild, man.
Oh,
The Western Mass does have a lot of stuff going on.
Yep, the Vogel brothers, man. They're unbelievable. They're just great guys, and they believe in the same type of research.
You guys should watch the collab me and Coley did with Sir Brian the other night. That was fantastic.
I did watch some of it. I just didn't say anything.
Yeah, Sir Brian, man, he's from New York.
Yeah,
Is that how you say it?
sorry to hear that.
They don't. They're not the same, Rob. I've made this mistake before.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I did the best I could.
Here we go.
Brian now is relaxing in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Brian, if you do not want me to divulge that, but we all know.
Yeah, what's the address?
1726 Atlantic Coastal Drive.
Oh, nice spot.
97018 zip code.
I used to own a delivery.
All amenities included on Brian.
Wow, thank you, Brian. That's amazing. What a nice guy.
Showers, you need. Yeah, he's got it all.
Yeah,
pack it up and travel down there.
I definitely caught some of that one.
Thanks, Brian.
That's what I love about the we say critical thinkers, but a lot of these people that you have coming to your shows are so intelligent. It's just so like Curious Cryptid that we have in ours. She is absolutely mind-boggling brilliant. You're like, what? Yeah. 10 degrees and different things, and anthropology and all this stuff. And she actually takes our stuff and analyzes for fun on her own. She'll give you a full forensic diagnostic of the whole thing with a written report by a professional with a degree. And it's just amazing people that you meet. And like Brian, you could tell that he was like that type of thinking, that type of thought process, those types of theories. You absolutely need those as a researcher. If you don't hear those things, you're never going to look further into it.
There's his address.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Yes, I've heard of that place before.
The monsters.
No, it's
or is that off Adam's Family?
That is Adam's Family, isn't it? No, wait, no, that might be the Monsters. Which one is that?
I think it's the Monsters.
It's the Monsters.
I think it's the Monsters. Yeah, you're right. I think I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think I'm with you on
that. Just roll with it.
Yep.
Now, Rob, where are you at, Rob, if I may? And I'm going to have questions on my show, but I'll use this one up right now. Where are you at with looking at our stuff?
Just share your location with us, Rob. We'll put you on the map.
Yeah, just hit the button. Just hit the button.
You pin it. Ping.
Yeah, the Monsters. There it is. Where are you at with our stuff sometimes? You look a little, taken aback by it, or you're not sure.
I'm not taken aback by anything. I think it's all pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
I think you got some stuff there.
Yeah.
I've never seen such vivid and colorful pictures, so maybe I'm taken aback by that.
Yeah, that's the Android phone. The only thing it's good for.
Yeah. No, you got great pictures.
Yeah, I was just
like I said, I'm not the biggest picture guy, but I think your pictures are better than most I've seen.
Yeah,
and I think I'll tell you this: you have something in there. Yeah, what it is, I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah,
exactly.
And I agree with that. I don't know. I mean, I attribute it to the star people because the way they kind of act. They're real quiet. They kind of float a little bit sometimes. They seem to they can manipulate electronics. We also believe that the Sadunga or Bigfoot
seems paranormal too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does. And that's the other thing too, by the way. When you asked the paranormal question, I did a collaboration one time with a local guy, He doesn't do it no more, so I won't say his name, but for personal reasons, that's why I won't say his name. But what a brilliant investigator. And we did a collaboration with Bigfoot, Puck Wudgies, and the paranormal in the Bridgewater Triangle. And we were out in my backyard, and it was amazing the EVPs that we got. We had what's it called? A death bell that you put down and it would ding and stuff.
Oh
and
yeah, we've had. Oh yeah.
in my backyard where I was seeing
Dead
Bigfoot.
bell.
Yeah, the dead bell. Thank you. And the backyard where I have Bigfoot communications, right? We're over here doing EVP recordings and everything else. It was absolutely wild. Problem with mass Bigfoot is that they are fucking brutal. Yeah, kudos.
What am
to
I
you.
missing now?
That
What
is
did I
beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I know. Listen, being a Rangers fan I can see why you'd be crying. We're slightly better. Slightly.
No, he's probably a Buffalo Sabres fan. He's probably from that.
No,
I was
he
like,
knows
what did I
favorite
miss?
fan. Yeah, he's not.
That is funny as shit, isn't it? I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. That's the way we should be. Have some fun with this stuff, right? Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourself.
You guys would enjoy Brian. He's fun as well, like you guys. But he knows his shit.
Yeah, he definitely seems to know his shit. Yeah, absolutely. Again, I was creeping you the other night, so I know.
I know. So I heard. You've been creeping me for 4 years. I found out.
Yeah,
Jeez. I never had a stalker for 4 years. Finally confirmed their identity.
Not one that never identified themselves.
No, you know what? It's weird. I'm okay with identifying myself. What happens is my wife comes in and she goes, "Oh, you watching Rob again?" And I'm like, "What? What gave it away?" And she's like, "The bandana and the Speedo."
Oh God.
Matching, I might add. I am Italian.
Oh wow, you even got him coughing. Jeez, Rich, for the compliment.
Yeah. I'm just flabbergasted.
Yeah. I respect the way you carry yourself with this stuff. It's I like that, and that's I don't gravitate to a lot of people. You know what I mean? I did gravitate to like Alex Petikoff, and
he's great.
Yeah, he is. And then as I got further in the research, we just kind of grew apart in a sense because he not that he doesn't think like I do. It's just that we don't have a lot in common when it comes to that part of it. You know what I mean? But watching him, I really appreciated having him, and he was my first, I think, really big guest on my show, and he was so accommodating. He was just awesome.
He's very he's been on my show a couple times, and fantastic. He's a great guy.
Great guy. I like him a lot. I always have, and I've always respected his hard work that he put into it, and with what he does. You know what I mean? He has listen, I don't care how you do this research, whether it's for video, whether it's for fame, whether it's for money. Whatever it might be, whether it's for the research itself, it doesn't matter. If you're a good person and you have passion, you have to respect that. It's just the way it is, So it's the same thing. Like Jason Kenzie, for instance. Jason Kenzie has a lot of shows out there. He's on my show, and he's a good guy, But he's out there. He's still out there. He's filming, and he's making shows. But the guy is sleeping in a hammock and hooked up to an X. The dude hooked up an X. Yeah. He hooked up an X to a hammock to the X and laid in the hammock. And so the researcher comes over and goes, "What the hell you doing, dude? You're not supposed to do that, And he's like, "Yeah, we'll see what happens." And he had one of the most horrifying experiences of his life that night. So, but again, a researcher, and he's utilizing it in a different way. And honestly, it's getting information out there in a respectful way. And that's what we need to do. We need to
He was just better with time. If he was just better with time.
He's terrible with time.
I know.
Jason, if you happen to pop in here, man, buy a watch, bro. Yeah. Like I'll say, Jason, when you coming back on? He goes, "Oh, I can pop in on Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm like, "What do you mean? What Tuesday? My show's on Saturday, bro." Oh, can you do Sunday? And he won't even hear it. He'll go, "Can you do Sunday around 12:30?" And then he'll show up at 3.
At 3, yeah. Yeah.
Really, again, a great guest, funny as shit. I got him on his Did he use his coffee trick on you? The coffee mug trick?
No.
He has 2 coffee mugs. I'm going to warn you.
Kurt W75 and I did it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You guys brought me up. My ears were ringing. I was right in the middle of a bandana Speedo incident. But anyways, I was like, he takes his coffee, he drinks it, regular cup of coffee, right? So I'm sitting there talking. I pay attention to everybody, and I don't always talk about the subject. I want to know who you are as a person. So I'm paying attention to him. And all of a sudden, he comes up with the same coffee mug, but it's like the size of a thimble. And he's like this with his pinky out, drinking it. And I go, wait a minute. And he jumps back, and I go,
on it quick.
yeah. I go, did you just switch coffee mugs? I go, wait, how do you have the same coffee mug, big and small? What the hell's going on? He goes, you know what? You're the first one ever to catch me. Yeah, he don't use that trick no more, I don't think, because he was caught. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't play
You
around.
busted.
Yeah, busted. Yeah.
But like,
I stalked him too. But whatever, moving on. What's that? What's up?
oh no, I mean, like Jason, yeah, he's awesome. But I mean, again, being a researcher and a podcaster, and you're putting yourself out there, you have to be thick-skinned. You gotta, you gotta be prepared for all the questions, and it's not like we have all the answers. We're just telling you what we're experiencing. That's why we go on live, and I just hope
Yeah, you got to get over that.
That's why I take the pictures, Rob, and he does the video, so you're seeing the broad of all the lights, and he's yelling at me like the guy on the right.
You guys got this. Okay, I want to say you guys do not have to have a complex of your pictures. I am, like Coley said, poker faced. I don't want to show my exuberance or my disappointment. So you never know where I stand.
Good,
but I love your pictures. They're very vivid, and I'd actually look forward to seeing more.
You gonna?
Wow, Rob, that's really disclosing, putting yourself out there.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that.
Thanks for that.
I had to show some love to my stalkers.
Yeah, that way they go away once they realize they got what they wanted. They just leave.
Sorry, Rob. I'm home on my couch. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, mind your business.
But she's like, "What are you doing here?" Oh, I was going to see Rob too. No, get out of here.
Yeah, you get out of my yard.
I've heard of the Boston Strangler before. I don't know.
I've heard of the Boston
The last thing Rob wants is he's gonna let you know, just in case, that those pictures are great.
Yeah, those pictures are amazing. I locked the window. Okay, we're good. Yeah, no.
Get the hell out of here.
Right? Hello, 911. Yeah, it's true though.
It will be written in a book somewhere, just not
there's
by
a
Rob.
Bruins fan hanging outside my door. Can you please call the cops?
Yep. Yeah, Rob, you got a couple of books out, right? What are they out on? They out on Amazon or what, bro?
They're on Amazon.
No, wait a minute.
Okay.
All right. I got a book.
She's got the library going.
Oh, there it is. The True Cryptid Encounters. Oh, volume 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Check that out, everybody. Go over to Amazon and what do you just look up? Do you look up BMR or Bigfoot?
Yeah, actually, it's very easy on your Amazon browser. Simply type Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Yeah, that's it. They'll pull up.
Huh? Cool. I'm gonna do it right now. Let me see. Let's see what this is all about. If it has a picture of me in it, then you got some explaining to do. I love it. Bigfoot, Michigan. How do you spell Michigan?
Boston.
Oh, fourth down. I got it. All right.
CAMPBL. Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. Do you see the shirt they have next to your book?
The skirt.
The shirt.
No, I didn't. They randomly post that. What is it?
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Right next to your beautiful, scary cover. There's this. Well, I'll show you.
What's he doing?
Oh boy.
Oh, that's badass, man. I'm not a collared shirt guy, but I like that. I like that.
I knew you would like that.
Yeah.
All he needs is a do-rag. All set.
Just like them in your drawer. All right. So check
they usually
it out.
profile up for a good reason.
All right. We got listen to this, man. We got Bigfoot Michigan Rob presents True Cryptid Encounters Book 1. And how do you say you got your real name on there.
Yeah, actually it is.
He doesn't, yeah.
Oh no. Good Lord, no.
I always spelt it with a C.
Most do.
$14.99 for the paperback, $9.99 for the Kindle.
And coming soon, audiobook.
Well, that's right, Jim. We're going to be coming soon with an audiobook for Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. That's right. That's you, Coley. I love it. Hey, we're getting good at this shit. We got to hang out more often. Free delivery Tuesday. Order within 28 minutes. Does that make you feel special though when they have the delivery instructions? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, no.
That's Wojo. Wojo
But
loves playing
Tell
that.
you what, though, if anybody wants to contact me directly,
Yeah.
I will pay the shipping. How about that?
Wow. So if you reach out to the email is BMR.
Yeah.
Is it what is it? What's the email?
Beyond BMR@gmail.com.
Yep.
I'll pay shipping. What the hell?
You like that?
I haven't charged you double for the book, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he'll give you free shipping on
Because
Tuesday.
I'll sign it for you. That's
I
golden.
thought it was legit because it was painful for him to say.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was. Oh, there we go. Fadez put up your email, so if you could click on that, and we'll get Rob's email up. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab me one of those. I'm gonna check it out.
All right, thank you.
And though, if you reach out to Rob directly, he can tell him you want original wording and have him write you something. Nice little.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you. I'll have you sign it and send it to me.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, and
Yeah.
I'll give you half price. Deal?
Okay. Well, we'll see.
I'll take a shirt too.
You
Thanks.
Bostonians, man, always trying to
Oh yeah.
lower the price.
Yeah. Well, look at where we live.
Well, when I sign it, I do say this.
We
when
call it swindling, pal. Swindling.
I do say that when I sign the books, I do charge a premium. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. That's all right. I'm all right with that. Wojo, you got $10 I can borrow?
Getting authentic ink.
Yeah.
I got 5.
Michigan ink. Michigan ink is expensive, but I live in Massachusetts, so you got to be easy on me, dude. This place is a toilet.
That's
We'll work
awesome.
something out, my man. Don't worry about it.
Good. Well, I think it's incredible. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I actually started writing a foreword to my book. I mean, I'm not going to talk about that because it's in the making, but the cool part is my mom wrote a poem about me that got published many years ago. And it was about being an addicted teenager. And I got clean and sober September 21st, 1997. And I've been that way ever since, thank God. But my mom wrote this poem about me, and it's called One Life, One Body. And basically, what do you do with it, right? Check out page 69 for Bigfoot penthouse letter. I'm only there for the articles, brother. All right. I'm only getting the book. I'm only getting the book for the articles. But my mom wrote the poem anyways, and that's what the foreword's going to be. The foreword is, and the name of the book is going to be called One Life, One Body, and then you're going to have a Bigfoot section in there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
You know what they say about the size of the shoes? I don't know.
Yeah,
The size of the feet, wear big shoes. But I really wanted to thank everybody for coming on today. To Wojo, why don't you tell them where they can find you and what you got going on, and Richie?
Yeah, Rojo, where can they find you? Tell them you're a caveman.
Yeah, exactly. My caveman. You can find me on podcast for Tuesday nights on Home of the Boom on Banter with Richie B podcast network. You can find me on that.
What happened to the boom? You always do the boom.
What?
Oh,
what are you talking about, girl? Come on, Home of the Boom. Yes.
Now she's getting ready.
I thought she was going to do one with me. Oh.
No.
I did one already. I was like, boom. I was like,
yes.
No, you went like this. You went, boom.
I think.
Well, it was your boom. I didn't want to take it away from you.
I know.
Call the boom anytime you want.
That's right.
There's only a few things that we have copyrighted. The boom isn't one of them, but we're working on that,
Yeah, that's right. He said the boom room last time or something.
Oh man, the boom boom
room, yeah.
And then what nights are you on, or what's your schedule, so everybody knows, so they can stalk you?
Nice. Tuesday nights at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on there. And I will be looking forward to having you guys in the chat room. It'd be great. Who knows? I might be finding some of you guys on there to come on my show. How's that?
Yeah.
Boom! All right, there we go. All right.
There you go.
Startle response on that one. Oh, that might have been trauma from BMR show the other day. The spiders.
Oh God, let's not get in that trauma.
Oh,
Thanks for that.
Yeah. And then Richie, why don't you tell them where they can I mean, you guys are pretty well home together, but what
we're
days
home
you're on and
Yeah, we were in
home
bunk
together.
beds, you know.
Yeah,
That's
we're
it.
home
the
together.
lights
That's
are
what we
always
are.
on.
Hey, babe, can you do the dishes? I'll be up in a minute. What the hell are you talking about? We're home together. What's going on? No, what she means by home together is YouTube and the network.
Hey,
Anyway,
can I ask you something really quick, man?
Yeah.
Is New York radio like you?
What is
New York radio, just
Like
like
me?
you? You know, the announcers and the broadcasters?
I'm not from New York. I don't know.
Boston, New York, East Coast.
You mean like excitable like I am?
Yeah.
Like Mad Dog? You talking like Mad Dog?
Yeah, Mad Dog, yeah.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Bill Belichick. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know how Joe Rogan can get fired up sometimes. They'll say like the Joe Rogan of Bigfoot.
And I do know you're from Boston. I had to say New York because this is what I do.
I know he's trying to piss us off.
BMR
That shit.
No, I've made this mistake. I've made it. That's why I tread lightly.
Yeah.
Not with you guys, but a couple times with other people.
All right, duly noted. Don't set yourself up around Rob. No, I think we're a lot like Boston radio. Yeah, we're excitable people up here. We're passionate people, is what we like to say, Rob. You know, kind of like with that weird hat you're wearing right now. You know, very passionate about but college kids running around. You know how it is. You know.
Hey man, I took off the other one because it was itching.
Was it itching? Yeah, Wojo's too. You can tell.
Oh, Wojo, yeah, you guys switched hats. When did this happen?
Yeah, they both did. Yeah, his temples were squeezing. But anyways, you can catch me on Bigfoot Banter, Richie B on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all the same. I post a bunch of different shorts you can comment on TikTok and Instagram. Bigfoot Banter, Richie B on Facebook is a great way to get a hold of me. You can talk about any of your sightings, any questions. You can share information if you feel like it. I can share it back through Messenger on there. It's nice and easy. So Bigfoot Banter Richie B on Facebook. Follow me there. And then, of course, YouTube. YouTube is our channel. That's where the network is basically tied in and located to. So if you go like, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notify button, you'll know when Wojo's talking. You'll know when Friday nights at 9:00, Sam's Pretty Paranormal Podcast. Our producer has her own podcast. And then Sunday night, tonight was the premiere of Sunday night was Ghost Cats and Cryptids with Jean Tewksbury, an amazing researcher up in Maine. Check her out. It's a great conversation that you get to have with Jean and see all her information that she has. And of course, our show, the catalyst for all this is Bigfoot Banter Richie B podcast, man. Check us out 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday nights. Hit that notify button. And again, very interactive. Be part of the investigation, man. We appreciate all you guys.
Oh.
I don't do boom. I say keep climbing, and I always tell my son,
I like that.
I always tell my son Jack, Daddy loves you, and I love you, Mama, and I see you, Ella, and that's mine.
And also, Sir Brian Bowden, you got to get on his show. You would love him, yeah.
Oh, you guys would have fun.
There's the New Yorker. The New Yorker over here. There's not one person from the state of Massachusetts quiet. He's from New York, bro.
Yeah. I will definitely tune into that. I'll set that up. We'll hook up with Brian.
Love it, man. I'd love to have him come on. Come on the show, Brian. Hang out with us, man. We love hanging with people.
His show's called Third Eye Live.
I'd love to see all you guys together.
He has his podcast, Third Eye Live.
Yeah, he does. Third Eye Live, Brian Bowden.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're gonna check that out.
You gotta get Rob and Brian in the both. That would be excellent. I would love to see that.
I'll let these two East Coasters battle that one out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll have a lot of good conversation, man. Oh my God, we will be loaded up with Red Sox gear. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, man. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
Good times never feel so good. So good. Boom, boom. All right. Sorry, Brian. My name is Brian.
See how the Midwesterners up here were like,
yeah, they don't know what the hell.
We don't know what to do. Yeah.
These guys are like boring, for God's sakes. Come on, guys.
Let's go. I thought we were interesting until you guys, man.
No, yeah, well, you're like in Iowa or something, right? I didn't even know that was still a state, to be honest with you.
I know, right?
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, I thought they deregulated that.
But at least you said it right, because usually it's Idaho. You're from
Yeah, right. Everybody.
Either or works.
Well, I must say this in defense of Coley. Idaho is way worse.
Really? And worse? What do you mean by that, Rob?
That's quite
Like
a
there's
terrible
less
state.
people.
I've been through there. Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
2 of the vegetable states right there.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh, thank you, Maya. Thank you for that. Yeah, come on over and join us. Have fun. Be part of the family. Just be respectful. Everybody's allowed to disagree respectfully. We love that. We love it. We love it. We love it. We need skeptics. We need critical thinkers, and we need to communicate together.
Careful. Let's tread some light. That sounds good. We'll send them to you then, Richie. You can.
Oh yeah, that I have
take
D-Hood.
care of
I
it.
have D-Hood. I'm bulletproof. D-Hood just see you later. You won't
Oh
last.
yeah,
2
the
seconds with
Texas
D-Hood.
Twister.
Pew, pew.
Texas. Well,
Oh, yeah.
no, thank you both for coming on, and we'll definitely be working with one another in the future. So we
Yeah,
look
great
forward
to
your
see you
shows.
guys. Great to see you
Yeah.
Nice to
guys.
see you
And
guys.
Cole,
Thank you so much.
Coley, answer your text messages, would you?
I-
Yeah, we don't.
I would have
Oh,
to Rob.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Oh, wait, just a second.
Oh my God.
Where'd he go?
He probably just left. He's sick of it.
What? That just
Can't take it
happened?
no more. Thank you, everybody on the side. Thank you.
He must
everybody.
have
You
gotten
guys are
kicked out.
amazing.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Everybody, thank you on behalf of SNX Radio. Thank you for taking the journey into the beyond. It's not even the beyond, it's the unknown. Now I'm going, yeah.
I'm just looking forward to
Let me
dancing.
just try this again. Thank you for taking the journey into the unknown with SNX Radio. I'm Coley, also known as Coley UFO, and I've apparently lost my marbles as well.
Hit the music.
Let's hit
Let's
it.
go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Like right now.
I'm
We're
ready.
doing it. Yeah, you guys ready?
Hit it.
Here we go.
Met you on the back row, phone screen glow, slow motion halo. You say hit that follow, next thing we're flying over cargo. Swipe up, then we lift off. Both feet leaving this floor. Highway like the kick drum. You said you're ready for more. Hands up in the main room, neon dust on my white shoes. You spin me like a typhoon. Lost track, but I'm locked on you. Baseline in my ribcage. Oh yeah. Time warp when you say my name. You smile, then we time lapse. 2 hearts in a hyperdrive lane. Spin me around the moon, low gravity. Every little move, new galaxy. Closer, closer, you're my supernova. Countdown, 3, 2, I disappear with you. Disappear with you.
Shake it, girl.
SNX Radio invites you to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos with us as we dive into UFOs, cryptids, and everything otherworldly. As we navigate the night, we investigate the unknowns that spark our curiosity and challenge our understanding of reality.